Welcome to Cameron Stadium. The Washington and Jefferson Presidents play host to the Yellow Jackets from Waynesburg. It's 7-2 versus 2-7. This is a rivalry that the last time they're going to play in the final game of the season, the way it's gone the last 3 years, 177-0 for Washington and Jefferson over Waynesburg. Alex Terra with us right now. I'm Robert Mangino. Alex, if Waynesburg is wanting to keep this a close game, they need some key performances today.
And they definitely need some key performances, and that starts from their running game with their running back, Zane Cauley. Zane Cauley, are you ready for this? Has 336 yards and 41 carries for 4 touchdowns last week against Bethany. I promise you I'm not making that up. He had all these carries, and look for him to be the focal point of this Waynesburg running attack.
Now, on the flip side of things, we're looking at Washington and Jefferson. Who are we going to be watching?
And that's our senior linebacker, Tanner Volpatti. It's senior day, so it's only right that we praise him today. He was awarded the PAC Defensive Player of the Week last week, where he had 11 total tackles, and 3 of them were tackles for losses to beat a run-heavy triple-option team in Geneva. He's definitely going to be someone to watch for on this W&J defense.
Let's break down the keys to the game. We'll start off with Waynesburg first. What are the keys for them?
And that's run, run, run. Stick to what you do best. Last week had a huge rushing performance by Zane Cauley. Look for him to repeat a similar stat line. We'll see if he can really repeat this and win the field position battle. Can they move the ball down the field? And if they have to punt, can they have good punts to make W&J drive the length of the field to score?
And the keys for Washington and Jefferson.
And our first is linebackers. We have linebackers like Justin Johns, Tanner Volpatti, Keaton Hall, all big performers in this W&J defense. They need to come up huge against this run-heavy attack by the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. And I also have be efficient. Last week, they went against Geneva, who tried their best to keep the ball away from this W&J offense. However, when the offense was on the field, they were super efficient and scored on almost all their drives. They had the ball in plus territory.
Washington and Jefferson and Waynesburg, they're coming up in just a moment. But first, it's Veterans Day here at Cameron Stadium. And now, the national anthem.
See by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
What keeps you moving? Is it your grandkids learning to ride a bike? Or Fido wanting to go for walks? At Washington Health System Center for Orthopedic Excellence, our highly trained team offers a wide variety of services, all tailored to your specific needs. Don't let pain or injury stop you any longer. Choose Washington Health System for your orthopedic care and take your first steps towards recovery and a healthier, more active life.
And we are just about ready for kickoff here at Cameron Stadium at Washington and Jefferson and Waynesburg. Final game of the season for the President's Athletic Conference. And Alex, it seems as though it just started and it's already over.
The season's just flying by. We already got senior day, last game of the regular season. We've watched both these teams. We've mostly watched W&J go through this season. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of high moments, a lot of low moments. But we'll see what they do with this last opportunity they have to put a statement on this regular season and put a final punch on their record.
A lot of disappointment that they're not going to win the pack. A lot of disappointment they're not going to be able to get into the playoffs, but there's still a bowl game opportunity for them.
Exactly. There still could be another opportunity. We just got to wait and see.
And the kickoff, it goes deep and is taken at the 11-yard line. Up over the 11, trying to find a seam on the outside and knocked out around the 35-yard line. Washington and Jefferson is taking over 1st and 10 there. And the starting lineup for W&J, led by their tremendous quarterback, J.Q., number 1 in all of PAC when it comes to passing. Tremendous yards and touchdown to interception ratio, 28 touchdowns to 5 interceptions for Jake.
You know, it's just a very impactful player, smart player, knows where to go with the ball.
Fakes the handoff out to the flat to his fullback, Zach Cernuto, player of the game from earlier in the season with his number of touchdowns on the short yardage touchdowns. He gets the first catch of the game and able to get that first down yardage.
And this is the guy you definitely want to get started super early. He gets you those easy pitch and catch opportunities from Pew and gets you a first down off the bat.
Quick handoff up the middle, fumbled the ball. And Waynesburg is saying they recovered, and the officials agree with them. Wow.
If you're a Waynesburg Yellow Jacket, you're loving this start, especially on the defensive end that struggled all year, causing turnovers. And to come out on the first running play of the game with a huge hit to free the ball up, Huss, the ball carrier, not able to contain it, not able to hold it. Maybe there was a problem with the snap and the exchange. But Waynesburg, the offense coming out in plus territory, this is exactly what you want to see for your Yellow Jackets.
So Waynesburg now getting the ball. They are led by their quarterback, Samuel Barber. He is number 6 in all of PAC. 112 for 189, 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns, but 7 interceptions. So now a handoff over the left side to Zane Cowley. Zane Cowley with the run over the left side and able to pick up about 3 yards on the play. And there's a flag. Backing them up 10 yards from the spot. So instead of a 1st and 20, it's going to be a 1st and what looks like 17 yards. They're back to midfield on the 50.
And that's what I anticipated them going to on the first play, going to Cawley, trying to see if they can get him going. But the line giving up a holding penalty on the first play is not what you want to see.
And it looks like a procedure penalty, and they're backing up even further. So from a 1st and 17.
11, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
1st and 22 now for Waynesburg.
And you have all the momentum you could ever want in this game off that fumble recovery, and you just kill it with the first holding penalty and offsides penalty in the first 2 plays. They need to shore up this offense if they want to keep this close.
Barber back to pass, looking for a man. Intercepted. Volpatti, interception at midfield. Wow. What a catch. Tanner Volpatti. I tell you what, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with Washington and Jefferson. And they will take over 1st and 10 from the Waynesburg 48 in a moment on KDKA Plus.
Why call 2 men in a truck? If you're like Joe, you need to move your business without moving a single meeting. The word stop isn't in your vocabulary. You want it handled with no hitches, no glitches, and no sweat. That's why you call 2 men in a truck.
2 men in a truck.
When you step through that door or shake their hands, will you be prepared? When you stand up for a client or walk into that meeting, will you be ready? Ready to prove to them that you deserve to be there?
When you come to Washington and Jefferson, you will be.
Washington and Jefferson College. Are you ready?
It's time to rediscover the original Voodoo Brewing Company pub in beautiful downtown Meadville. Enjoy world-renowned craft beer, delicious and unique cocktails, and one-of-a-kind food items. Celebrate an Allegheny win with the newest fall cocktail, Gator Juice. And if you're looking to take your celebration to the next level or host a private event, look no further than the Voodoo Production Facility and Event Space for your next event. For more information, visit VoodooBrewery.com.
And Alex, couple interesting observation that you made right at the completion of that interception by Tanner Volpatti. Quick play action pass out to the right, nails him. Jake Pugh to Jacob McCosco, big pickup all the way down near the red zone for Waynesburg.
So right before that play, we noticed that we had one single offensive play that did not end in a penalty or a turnover. It was just absolutely sickening before that play with Pugh and McCosco. Great little glance route over the middle, little quick slant, which they feasted on all last week against Geneva, was those quick slants over the middle. When you have teams that are trying to take away your outside shoulder, that's a great play to go to.
Pugh back, looking, dumps it off, and a pickup of about 4 yards on the play. Once again, McCosco on the reception.
We've slowly seen over the course of the season Pugh's primary target kind of shift from John Peduzzi, and now it's shifting to Jake McCosco, who's really blossomed over the second half of the season. His numbers absolutely shot up, and this is why. He really puts his body out there. He finds those windows in the zone. Pugh's just able to find him, especially on that play. We'll look to see them go back to him again.
Pugh back, looking, slant pattern, looking for John Peduzzi on that one, overthrown by just a little bit.
So now you have inside the red zone, third down, a little bit to go still. You've seen those quick slants by both receivers, Peduzzi and McCosco, on each side. Haven't seen any sort of run play since the Huss turnover. We see Kobe DeRosa in there running back. I'm looking to see Zach Cernuto. I'm circling him on this play. Look for him, something over the middle, maybe a little out pattern. He's your guy on third down.
Zach Cernuto on one wing, and Raymond Holmes line up in the tight end position on the right side. Pugh back to pass. Finds his man out in the flat. First down completion. Kobe DeRosa on that, able to get that first down yardage all the way down near inside the 5. Officials calling him out at the 4.
So the Waynesburg defense was probably thinking the same exact thing I was, and that was Zach Cernuto, because 3 defenders corner Zach Cernuto and leave Kobe DeRosa wide open in the flat. And that's just the way Pugh's been playing. He's been picking his spots. He likes his matchups. He likes the way that Kobe DeRosa is able to break free in open space. And now first down inside the 5.
Pugh, handoff, nope, fakes it. And this time it goes to Cernuto. You called the number, just one play too early.
Just one play too early, but still going to the big tight end, Zach Cernuto, super athletic. And that's been his play all year, is just getting lost in the shuffle, going across the line, because constantly throughout the game, he's running those kick-out blocks. And then inside the red zone, he likes to sneak out, and then no one's paying attention to him. Easy pitch and catch for Pugh and Cernuto.
And the kick is up, and it is good. Ricky Hunter, number 3 in all the pack when it comes to kicking. Really good in field goals. He's 4 of 5, but he has been successful at kicking as well. And WJ, a good season. We were having an interview with Coach Sirianni earlier in the season a couple weeks ago, and he said, you know what, we're a really good team. We're not a great team. 7-2 overall for Washington. Jefferson is a good record, but the standard is just so much higher.
Exactly, especially in the first couple weeks, you see those huge wins by large margins, and then they kind of get into the strength of the schedule with Carnegie Mellon, Grove City, and just losing tough games and just not able to get over that hump and those high expectations that are set every season for WJ, who's just a consistently high win percentage team, but just unable to get that true final destination of a national playoff berth and a conference title in so long. It's very frustrating for a team when you have such high standards and not able to get over the hump.
Jackson Britnell lining up for the kick, and it's deep. And it will be taken by number 12, Moeller, over the left side, finds a seam, and finally taken down right around the 34-yard line. That's where Waynesburg will set things up here. And on the defensive side of the ball for Waynesburg, they are led by Chase Nicomotti. He's a senior, 6'2", number 1 on the team for sacks. Looking at Washington Jefferson's defense, Avery Keith. He is the leader at the defensive end position for them, along with Tanner Volpatti, obviously with that big interception in the last possession. Dive up the middle. Nice yardage on that play by Waynesburg. Able to get 8 yards on the play. And a big run by Zane Colley.
And you mentioned the WJ defense there, and just they have so many star players, so many X factors on the defensive side. And all starts from the interior with Dawson Dietz, Avery Keith, all just big bodies in the middle that are great at stopping the run and getting after the quarterback. And then also on the back end, like Bruno Fabricki, a lot of the secondary did not start the season, but they're filling in great.
Barber in a quick toss and taken down for about a 1-yard gain on the play. Number 21, Isaac Trout. He is 9th in the pack when it comes to receptions. They're expecting to have him have a pretty big game today, too. It's interesting to note that when you look at the receivers that are playing today, 5 of the top 10 receivers in all of PAC are playing in this game this afternoon. 3 for Washington and Jefferson and 2 for Waynesburg. 3rd and 1 on this play.
And that's super impressive because you know the playmakers that are on WJ, Peduzzi, McCosco, and you've already seen sprinkles of what they can do. But Waynesburg, they put up points. A lot of the games, their record doesn't show it, but their offense can score.
Samuel Barber handoff. And Washington and Jefferson, a great job of stacking that up. It looks as though there's a no gain on that play. Once again, a run by Zane Cowley, and Washington and Jefferson that was there to stop it, setting up a 4th down and what looks to be a punting situation.
Zane Cowley just not able to break through that initial line. And then Dawson Dietz coming around and pulling him back from the lead stick, able to set up 4th down. This is where I'm going to see if Waynesburg can really control field possession and see if their punts can land them in tough territory for the President's offense.
Rico Sestoque is the punter, and he is leading the pack in punts and gets away a boom and taken at the 16-yard line, out of bounds around the 25-yard line. Waynesburg is 2-7 on the season. And they've had a couple of games where they've been close, and really leading off at the beginning of the season, having an overtime game against Allegheny. It looked as though they were going to be able to really make moves from last season.
Exactly, and they consistently see themselves in this part of the conference, just kind of that lower tier. But they're still showing glimpses of a good team with those close losses.
Pugh handing off and for a run up the middle. And that run going for just a couple of yards. Troy Volpatti able to get 1, maybe 2 out to the 27-yard line. And a flag is on the play.
Holding. 33, offense. 10-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Interesting the number of flags that we've seen so far today.
We've seen a lot of these happening, especially in WNJA games, is they consistently limit their potential with the penalties. They continuously back themselves up. We know how good their offense is. They know they can push the ball, but after big gains especially, they're able to bring themselves back on tough penalties, especially holdings. We've seen a lot of holdings this year, which is something that needs to be shored up in practice.
Handoff, nope, a fake handoff to Volpatti. Pass out to the flat. And what looks like to be a really nice pickup there for Raymond Holmes. on that play and setting up a second down after that big holding penalty. They're still looking at a 2nd and 12.
We saw a similar play that Zach Cernuto caught on that touchdown, but instead we have Raymond Holmes coming across the formation, able to get into open space, slip out on the side. And the reason why they like to go to this play with Cernuto and Holmes is how tough they run and how big bodies and how they can really finish runs, setting themselves up in a better position.
Play action pass by Pugh, and another tip and interception, and a flag is on the play. It is returned inside the 35-yard line. Still have to wait, though, to see what this flag calls for. It looks as though it's going to be pass interception preliminary call against Waynesburg. The interception will be taken away. And you may be able to hear...
Pass interference. Number 9, defense. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Waynesburg fans not all that thrilled with that call.
Now, and you see a great play. Pugh trying to find Cernuto over the middle, and a great tip to land in the hands of the Waynesburg defense. But then just the defensive pass interference. Another would have momentum shift for the Jackets, not able to capitalize.
Pugh sets up 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. Rolls out to his left, looking for a man. Has a man wide open, unable to make the completion. Incomplete to Anthony Rosati, and another flag is on the field around the 40-yard line, near sideline.
Ineligible member of the passing team downfield. Multiple players. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
So especially when you have Pugh rolling out to his left, and just the longer he likes to extend the plays, we see 77, we see Loma, we see a couple other players on the offensive line waiting and trying to see if Pugh's going to take off and run, but he lets it go, so it's a penalty.
Pugh, play action, looking for a man. Big pass and catch out to John Paduzzi. That first down reception right beyond the sticks.
And now they're going to go a little bit hurry up, trying to get as many possessions as they can in this first half. And I know I want to see them be efficient today.
Pugh once again to Paduzzi. And a completion, another 10-yard grab for Paduzzi.
They really like the one-on-one matchups they're getting on the outside. If you're going to play Paduzzi and McCosco one-on-one, you got to be ready to play.
Quick wide receiver screen to Paduzzi, making a couple of men miss. Pickup of nearly 15 yards on that play. Great pass, great catch, great run.
Especially when you have one-on-one coverage, the hardest thing to do is just flip it out to your receiver and make that corner tackle you in open space.
Pugh's in the pistol, hands off. Little dodging and weaving, but not able to get all that much on that play. And it'll set up a 2nd and 10.
Still going hurry up. They like their matchups. They want to keep this Waynesburg defense on the field, make them run. They're tired. And now we'll see WJ try to go deep on this play. I especially want to see either McCosco or Paduzzi on their fade routes, which they like to do so well. But you notice that they're really trying to stop that outside shoulder and not let them go on the outside.
Cernuto in motion, now in the backfield. Pugh looking deep down the left-hand side over to Paduzzi. Completion, first down yardage once again. John Paduzzi, his main target on this drive.
Pugh's doing a great job of distributing the ball, looking for the open man. A lot of curls, a lot of sits in the window.
Hand off to Huss up the middle, making a couple of men miss. And so close to the end zone, but fell just short inside the 1. Great run by Justin Huss.
Huss trying to make up for that fumble earlier in the game. Hasn't touched the ball since then. He gets it this time. Not able to stay on his feet long enough to reach the end zone.
Everybody's in tight. Direct snap to Cernuto. And one more time, another touchdown. I'm thinking he wants to be player of the game again.
Zach Cernuto played QB in high school, knows what it's like to get that shotgun snap, and they like to use him in the end zone, in the red zone. Just able to use his big body, have that jumbo package where they can just tuck it, run straight through. Offensive line gets the push they needed for the touchdown.
Garrett Hinsdale waiting for the snap. Hold, kick up by Hunter, and it is good. And Washington and Jefferson takes a 14-0 lead over Waynesburg. The kickoff is next on KDKA Plus.
We raised $5,000!
When you purchase life insurance and annuity products from GBU Life, you also have more opportunities to give back to your community. GBU matches donations you make up to $1,000 per member.
I have GBU Life Insurance. Oh, wow.
I have a GBU youth policy.
Whoa.
We've got GBU annuities. Hey!
Our $5,000 just turned into $10,000.
That's a lot of big checks.
Find out more at gbu.org.
Maya, can you come in here, please?
Yeah, Dad, what's up?
Is that your brother on the TV?
Yeah, that's my brother. It looks like it's tonight's game.
But how can that be your brother? I have never missed a single game.
We couldn't go tonight. Remember, you broke your foot.
Right. Well, I don't know who's putting on this production, but without them, I'd be missing this.
I started working out with my dad when I was 12 years old. He said, "While everybody else is sleeping, you up working. It's gonna pay off for you." Biggest decisions I ever had to make my junior year. I had my daughter at the time, so, I'm like, I gotta provide. I had the opportunity to leave early. I had to make a decision. Was I gonna leave or was I gonna come back to college for an extra year? I'm about to cry talking about this shit. Once I made that decision to come back, my mindset wasn't just to be good, it was to be great.
Jackson Britnell set for the kickoff. And we were just talking a moment ago, Washington and Jefferson up 14-0, 5:34 to go in the first quarter. But it's not, even though they're winning by 2 touchdowns, it doesn't seem as though we're seeing the best that Washington and Jefferson has to offer.
Exactly. You see the stats, you see the scores, and you're wondering, why is this team not undefeated? Why does this team have 2 losses? And that's because we're still waiting for them to play their best game.
Great return by Waynesburg. Took it at the 10, is able to get it all the way out beyond the 35 near the 40-yard line, and a flag is on the field. Could be a late hit. There are 2 flags that are down. One of the Waynesburg players wanted to do what he could to help, making sure.
After the play, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, 41, kicking team. 15 yards will be added to the end of the run. First down, Waynesburg.
And you'll see right at the end here, that extra little shove out of the bounds, sending him into the bleachers on the sideline. It's something so small, an action that you think doesn't mean a lot, and now all of a sudden Waynesburg has it in plus territory.
Barber all by himself, looking deep down the left side, and overthrows his receiver, trying to hit Adrian Letta down that left side.
Barber trying to just find something positive in the offensive side. Sees a little bit of separation on the outside, but with Brandon Brown coming across, really isn't anywhere for him to go.
Waynesburg has had decent field position on all of their possessions so far. They are in plus territory now, just not able to capitalize, but a nice big run. This one by Cowley over the right side, breaks a tackle, gets all the way inside near the 25-yard line of Washington and Jefferson.
And that was one of our keys for Waynesburg offense, is just run the ball. They can do this well. They can run the ball well. Don't do anything that you're uncomfortable with. Stick to what you know. And Cawley is one of those guys that you definitely want to lean on, being down early.
This offensive line that Waynesburg has, they average 299. Huge offensive line that they can make the holes open for Waynesburg and make this a game. Once again, a handoff to Cali. Picks up maybe 2, making it down to the 24 of Washington and Jefferson.
So it's always the running game that opens up the pass game. Can they consistently grind out those 3-4 yard gains on first down? And then if you have more manageable second and third downs, then you can take your shots down the field when you have more of an option on your playbook. Inside the 25, they're looking pretty good right now.
If they can get that extra man in the box, opening things up possibly for Dakota Romantino. And now play action, pass over the middle, and unable to make that connection. Dakota Romantino and Isaac Trout, they're 2 big receivers for Waynesburg.
They had a player wide open streaking down the field. Barber with a lot of pressure in his face, not able to set his feet and get a good throw there.
And a flag on the play. And we are waiting for the official call from the referee.
Ineligible member of the offense downfield, number 23. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, Zinking class and third down.
Is it a little surprising to you to see this number of penalties, obviously in the last game of the season?
And you expect something like this happening week 1, week 2, when the guys are still getting used to how they play. But seeing this many penalties this late in the season, with a lot of them playing their last games, it's shocking to me that there's a lot of people not on the same page.
3rd and 8, ball's on the 24-yard line. Barber back to pass, immediately rushed. Great screen pass, and the setup looks as though they're very close to first down yardage as Barber was able to hit Zane Cowley on that right over the middle.
This is one of my favorite plays that I want Waynesburg offense to use as much as possible because you have so much pressure in your face from this WJD line. Invite those pass rushers to you and then dump it over top to Zane Cowley to get him as much open space to see if he can make something happen.
And if you can get some of those big 300-pounders in front of him, the defensive backs don't want to encounter those guys. Cowley over the right side, able to pick up a couple of yards on that play.
They're doing a great mix here of the run and the pass. Every single pass play they've run, they've had a man wide open because WJ is sending so much blitzes at them that they're leaving someone open, but they're not able to hit it because of all the pressure that's in Barber's face. If the offensive line could just hold it for just a second or 2 more, we can see some touchdowns going the Waynesburg offense way.
Everybody in tight. Hand off to Cowley over the left side. Able to pick up some really nice yardage. Running behind Jacob Brisky, sophomore, 6'3", 282. And their left guard, Isaiah Greenway. He's a sophomore coming in at 320.
If you're wondering how Cowley ran for 336 yards last week, it's because of this run right here. It takes half the defense to even bring him down. He runs so square with his shoulders. He runs so downhill. That's no surprise to me why he's putting up the type of stats he is.
Cowley one more time over the right side, has a crease, touchdown, Zane Cowley. My, he made that look easy.
And you're using that big Waynesburg offensive line in front of you, down in the red zone. Everyone kind of moves up a little bit. But Waynesburg doesn't care. They're still running the ball. Cowley almost untouched going in the end zone. Great blocking here from the front 5 of the Waynesburg offense.
And even though they were down 14-0, they didn't get away from their game plan.
Exactly. Stick to what you know. That's what we like to see.
And awaiting the extra point. The kick is up. And the officials say the kick is good. 14-7 now. Washington and Jefferson over Waynesburg. And we're taking a look at the standings. Grove City, 9-0. Just absolutely dominant so far in this year. It looks as though they're going to be able to finish this season out with a perfect record. Carnegie Mellon coming in 8-1. Washington and Jefferson once again tie with Case Western Reserve for that 3rd spot.
And you see the level of play towards the top of the conference. Grove City, Carnegie Mellon, Case, W&J, Westminster are all good teams. And then Grove City was able to separate themselves this year by being that great team. They were able to carve out a narrow margin against the Presidents weeks ago. And then they were able to beat Carnegie Mellon as well, cementing themselves as that first place team. And they're going to be the ones that are going to be representing the PAC in the national playoffs.
Kobe DeRosa and Cam Mulvaney set deep to receive this kickoff. Kickoff from Rico Sestoke. And the kick is high, but it is short. It will be taken by one of the up men just outside the 30. Out beyond the 35-yard line. Washington and Jefferson now set up to take over 1st and 10 right around their 37-yard line. So what are you hoping to see on this drive from Washington and Jefferson?
I want to see exactly how they finished that last drive. Once they got in plus territory, they went hurry up, and they stuck with that run-pass option, having Pugh extend the pocket, get outside, make plays with his legs, just keep that high-paced offense, and keep this Waynesburg defense on the field, not able to sub, and see the mismatches that can occur the faster tempo they go.
Kobe DeRosa in with Jake Pugh. He's in the sidecar, takes the handoff right up the middle. Nice yardage, makes it. You talk about a hit. Really lowered that shoulder, getting that first down yardage.
If you can go 4 wide and still run the ball like this, especially Kobe DeRosa, he runs so downhill and just finishes runs like that. Make that exclamation point on the end of that run. And now your offense completely opens up with that first initial run.
Handoff to DeRosa over to the left side. Picks up first down yardage once again, carrying players. He not only yards after contact, but there were some piggyback yards on that one too. He was carrying defenders with him.
Waynesburg going to need to bring some guys off the bench to just lay on top of him to see if they can bring him down. He's taking almost the entire defense with him. They're recruiting all their friends to try and get him down.
Play action pass to DeRosa, out the, oh my, that was so close. Pugh just beyond the outstretched hands of John Paduzzi on that one. He was open.
And then you see Kobe DeRosa's runs, those 2 big runs, and then they fake to him. And then Paduzzi's wide open. Wide open, just not able to connect.
Another penalty against Washington and Jefferson, backing them up 5 yards.
And you've been noticing a lot of illegal men downfield in this game so far. And that's something that you have to deal with when you're running a lot of run pass options, because the linemen can't see the ball behind them. They can't see if Pugh pulled the ball. They can't see if he gave it to Kobe DeRosa. So it's a lot of guessing games, and they can't keep blocking like their run when they're pulling in and passing.
Pugh handoff. Volpatti over the left side, and he is able to pick up a few yards to about the 35-yard line. So on that particular play, for the viewers at home, that wasn't a traditional play-action pass. That was a 100% run-pass option, and the offensive line just wasn't sure what was happening behind him.
Exactly. That's all up to Pugh, and he does it on the fly. There's no call in the huddle that tells him if he's running or passing.
Pugh and Volpatti connect. Short gain, setting up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 9 from the 32-yard line. So on this particular play, do you have to get the entire 9 for the first, or do you think that we're really close to two down territory here for Washington and Jefferson?
With how much success you're having on the offensive end, I go 3rd and 4th down, have 2 plays called, ready to go. 3rd down, you don't have to get all the yardage. So take what the defense gives you. They'll give you something over the middle. Look for McCosker and Paduzzi on some slant routes.
Pugh 5 wide, scrambling, looking for somewhere to throw the ball. Flag is on the play. Looking for Paduzzi, unable to make the connection. And the preliminary call is holding. And you're kind of torn at this point, aren't you? If you're Waynesburg, do you take the penalty, push them back, and give them the down over again? Or do you force them into a 4th and 9?
Holding, 55, offense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is 3rd down.
And that's exactly what I would have done. I would have declined it. Don't give the W&J offense more chances than they can have.
It looks as though Pugh's going to stay on the field, at least at this point. No final decision has been made. Play clock is down to about 15 seconds, and they are going to go for it on 4th and 9 from the 32.
Don't be shocked if Pugh punts this ball. He played a little bit of punter in high school. Maybe we see a little pooch kick.
He's fading back. He's looking downfield, has a man connecting. Great pass and catch reception inside the red zone. And Jacob McCosco, that new #1 target you were talking about earlier in the game. And we will come back with the second quarter in just a moment. Washington and Jefferson over Waynesburg, 14-7 on KDKA Plus.
It's time to rediscover the original Voodoo Brewing Company pub in beautiful downtown Meadville. Enjoy world-renowned craft beer, delicious and unique cocktails, and one-of-a-kind food items. Celebrate an Allegheny win with the newest fall cocktail, Gator Juice. And if you're looking to take your celebration to the next level or host a private event, look no further than the Voodoo Production Facility and Event Space for your next event. For more information, visit voodoobrewery.com.
For us, this is not just a job. This is our mission. Providing great patient care. Delivering babies. Healing hearts. Detecting cancer early. Stitching wounds. And holding your hand through it all. Proudly serving our community for over 125 years. Washington Health System.
Here at Loway, we have a pretty vast array of customizable promotional products, from pens, signs, mugs, water bottles, really anything you can think of. Some of the main services we provide here are screen printing, embroidery, and promotional products. What really sets us apart from our competitors is our on-staff design crew and our customer service. We can really help take your branding and marketing to a new level. The main thing you can expect from us here at Loway is quick turnaround times and a really high-quality product.
That catch by McCosco, you were talking about how he has become the #1 target for Pugh.
And that's usually because, teams, they see the type of stats Peduzzi put up in the beginning of the season, and they're thinking, we need to stop this guy. But when that happens, that opens up a new target for Pugh, and that's McCosco. And now both of them have been extremely productive in this late half of the season.
Running backs in tight, handoff up the middle. Nice run by Washington and Jefferson, but yet another flag is on the field. This one at the 15-yard line. Potentially a face mask on this penalty.
Personal foul, face mask, 47, defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down. Correction, the foul is on number 7.
Okay, we see another run pass option. Going to Patricic, and then a clear grab of the face mask, trying to bring him down, trying to push him backwards. Can't do that. Can't pull on the face mask. Now WJ gets another opportunity, first down inside their 10. The playbook really opens up here if you're Mike Sirianni.
First and goal for Washington and Jefferson. And the play over the right side, getting close to the end zone, but just held out at the 3-yard line, setting up a second and goal from the 3.
Patricic, one of the 4 running backs you see in rotation for W&J. Volpatti, Huss, DeRosa, and Patricic, all major contributors in the run offense. And the good thing about having 4 different guys to play is as soon as the next one comes in, they're fresh. They're ready to go. And now Cernuto back at quarterback inside the 10.
Cernuto fakes it out to the right, keeps it himself over to the left, and he is dragged down, maybe down to the 2-yard line on that one.
Waynesburg defense doesn't want to give up the hat trick to Cernuto, who does everything he can to try and maybe catch the goal line. But a great job by the Waynesburg defense to rally around and bring Cernuto down.
3rd and 3 here. 14-7, Washington and Jefferson over Waynesburg. Looking to drive this in once again. I'm Robert Mangino. Alex Terrett with me here in the booth as we watch Washington and Jefferson play Waynesburg for the final time to wrap up the season. A pass out to the left. There was a marker that was put on the field as though there was a fumble. It looks as though there isn't. It looks as though there's a touchback on this one. What did you see, Alex?
And so Cernuto going to his normal bread and butter play on the flat. Pugh finds him. And we look like it's going to be a walk-in touchdown. But a great job punching the ball out. And the ball wasn't fully recovered by Waynesburg in the end zone, which means it's a touchback for Waynesburg, so they get the ball at their own 25.
Great camera angles on that, too. He was right there in a strip. If there wasn't a strip, there was going to be a touchdown. Cernuto would have gotten that hat trick, but Waynesburg doing their best to keep him out, and now they have it. 1st and 10 from their own 20. Handoff over the left side, pickup of about 6 yards. Once again, that running game is what is really paying off for them at this point for Waynesburg.
And this is exactly the type of game that they wanted to be in. They get their turnovers. They get 2 fumbles already in the first half. So they do what they need to do on the defensive end. And now on the offensive end, they just need to run the ball. They need to control the clock as much as they can. Keep the ball in their hand to keep them away from Pugh in the WJ offense.
Inside handoff and immediately taken down. Zane Cowley got the ball and he was immediately tackled on the play. Avery Keith coming off that defensive end position. Avery Keith, number 4 on the team in total tackles, number 5 in the pack in tackles for loss, number 4 in the pack for sacks.
So he appears a little shaken up after the play. But if you want to stop the run, that's how you got to do it. Avery Keith almost beats Zane Cawley to the ball and is able to wrap him down and set up 3rd down.
Barber scrambling, able to make a man miss, decides to keep it himself, breaks it over the 30-yard line, gets that 1st down yardage out to the 32. Sometimes you want to throw the ball. Sometimes you realize maybe the best play is with your feet.
And so you see Sam Barber, as soon as he rolls out, he's pointing to Trout to just go deep. He's trying to play a little backyard football, sees nothing's there, tucks it, able to get the 1st down, set up, fresh set of downs. That's all they need. They need to get momentum on the offensive side. I want to see, especially Dakota Romatino, one-on-one on the outside, see if they can get to him.
Cowley once again taking the ball, but great penetration this time by Dawson Dietz coming in, and a nice tackle for loss, a loss of about 4, maybe 5 yards on that play.
Dawson Dietz is one of those guys you circle in the scouting report coming into this week. He's a guy that can just take over a game. If you don't double team, if you don't keep eyes on him at all times, he's going to make you pay in the backfield.
Number 3 on the team in tackles for loss, 9 of them solo. And he did that one all by himself. Barber shotgun formation in a 2nd and 14. Back to pass, pressure is coming. Avoids a sack, but this time he's taken down. Won't be a sack, but the Washington Jefferson defense is completely swarming him.
Dawson Dietz does it in the run game. He also does it in the pass game. He has such a quick 1st and 2nd step, and he gets the quarterback so quickly. Even though he doesn't make the sack, he's able to trip up Barber, and so Volpatti can come in to finish up the job.
It's one of those ones to where you may have really big offensive linemen, but if my smaller defensive linemen are quicker with their feet and better with their hands, the bigger guy is going to lose.
And on the defensive line, it's all about how you use your hands. Can you swipe down the offensive line's hands to get to the quarterback?
3rd and 14, Barber out to the flat to Cowley. And 3 defenders for Washington. Jefferson begin the tackle, and then the rest of the team is involved in that, setting up a 4th and long.
Okay, so Waynesburg able to get a little bit of positivity in that drive. You like to see a little bit more, especially from your defense, who hasn't been playing super good all season. And now they come out with 2 turnovers to start this game, but now your offense is struggling. And it's a lot of give and take. And then you're still in this game, 14-7. It's a great position you want to be if you're a Waynesburg Yellow Jacket. But can they extend their level of play, especially on the defensive end, to continue this game and keep it close?
And the kick is away. And a fair catch was called for, and Washington and Jefferson will take it 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. 14-7 W&J over Waynesburg on KDKA+.
When you step through that door or shake their hands, will you be prepared? When you stand up for a client or walk into that meeting, will you be ready to prove to them that you deserve to be there?
When you come to Washington and Jefferson, you will be.
Washington and Jefferson College. Are you ready?
Looking to escape a dead-end job? We can help. Apply at 2 Men in a Truck today for a good job that can become a great career.
Sure, I'll be there at 5 a.m. I can binge one more episode.
Let's face it, you don't always set yourself up for success.
5 more minutes. Where are my work shoes?
But GBU Life makes it easy with life insurance and annuity products to help secure your future, so you have the freedom to do more of what you love.
Congratulations! Retiring early must be nice. What are you going to do first?
I think I'll sleep in.
Secure your future today. Visit gbu.org.
The cheerleaders having a bit to cheer about. 14-7 Washington and Jefferson over Waynesburg. Disappointing on that last drive, fumble into the end zone, giving Waynesburg the ball at the 20, but Washington and Jefferson's defense able to stop them, and now forcing a punt and a nice run here by Justin Huss over the left side. First down run, 8 yards, take that every time.
Exactly. To start out a drive, and to get to Huss and almost get the first down on the first initial run play.
Pugh slant pattern on a RPO. What a great catch. What a great run. John Peduzzi, 6 touchdown. Slant plays like that don't happen as that effectively. You may draw them up that way, but they don't all work out that way.
And that's because Peduzzi does an amazing job of not running to get covered. Mangino and I talked about this earlier before the game started. Receivers have to be smart, and they have to know when they need to slow down and when they need to settle in the window. And Peduzzi does a great job of that on that play.
There are 2 flags on the play. Both of the flags are in the end zone. No official word from the referee. We're about to hear that right now.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 15 and number 14 of the scoring team. That is their first unsportsmanlike foul towards disqualification. The penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Touchdown stands.
I want to take another look at that play right after this extra point, just to show you what exactly I'm talking about when I mean running, not running to get covered.
Kick is up, and the kick is good. 21-7 W&J over Waynesburg. What did you see?
Okay, so you're going to see Peduzzi on a little slant route, and you're going to see the linebacker drop into coverage, and you're also going to see the safety over top. And you're going to watch Peduzzi. He's going to slow down as soon as he gets past that linebacker. Play it. And you're going to see Peduzzi really open up. You see him slow down. And then that's a perfect example of finding the window, finding the open space. He could have stayed at his full speed, and then he would have ran right into the safety. Pugh would have had nowhere to go. Instead, he really settles down in that window. And that's a game-changing play right there. That's a 60-yard touchdown, when in reality that could have turned into almost an interception if he just kept running full speed.
The celebration at the end of that play, at the end of that touchdown, backing them up 15 yards, they are going to kick off from the 20. Now, granted, in the NFL, you can pretty much do whatever you want to celebrate just about any play you want to. An alley-oop slam dunk is not acceptable in D3 football. Am I understanding that correctly?
No, it's not. It's not. And you see on Sundays, you watch all the NFL players and all the crazy extravagant celebrations they have. And sometimes you want to break it out. You know, you're scoring your own touchdowns on Saturdays. You want to celebrate too, but unfortunately you can't do it at this level.
Kick is away, taken at the 18-yard line. Stumble and fall just beyond the 30. Is that something that Sirianni gets upset about? Or it's the last game of the season, we're up 21-7, 8:30 to go in the second quarter, and he'll let the guys go a little bit on this one?
See, I'm not going to speak for Coach Sirianni because I don't know. See, everyone has mixed opinions on it. You know, you like to see the energy, you like to see the enthusiasm by your team. But if it's costing you, especially in a tight game as it is right now, you really don't want to cause something that'll ruin your chances of winning down the line. But it's cool to see, so I'm on board for it. I don't know about everybody else.
Barber to Cowley up the middle for a couple of yards, so maybe 3 on that play from the 31 to the 34. And Waynesburg, they've had the opportunities to stay in this game. Interception, fumble going in to the end zone when W&J was about to score in their last possession. So they're down by 14, but they still must believe on their side they're in this game.
And they were mostly worried about how their defense was going to hold up, and they're holding up pretty well. And then they know what their offense can do. They know their offense can put up points. They're just waiting to see if they can finally break out in this game.
And right now, the run game is completely controlled by W&J. Volpatti and a big tackle for loss. Last week's Pack player of the game. He is 6th in the pack in total tackles, and he's 3rd in the pack for tackles for loss. 16 of them coming into this game. He just added another.
WJ was looking all last week. They see what Cawley did with the 336 yards and 4 touchdowns, and they saw him score on them already in this game, and they're now knowing that they're not going to let Cawley beat them. They're going to let Sam Barber see what he can do and possibly see if he can stop them.
Barber with that pass, the knee was down when his receiver Xavier Nelson caught that, and once again in college, the knee's down when you catch it, you're down.
And that's another thing guys see on Sundays. They see if you fall down, no one's around you, you can still get up and run. At the college level, that's not usually the case. As soon as your knee hits the ground, as soon as any part of your body that's not your feet touch the ground, you're down by contact. So it's another little discrepancy that the NFL has with college, especially at the D3 level.
4th down. Punting team is on. And Anthony Rosati is back to receive the kick. He takes it off of a bounce, gets it over the 40, near the 45-yard line. Officials will say he is out at the 44. Volpatti, 2 big plays so far. That tackle for loss that we just saw, and then the interception earlier. The last week, the player of the week in all of Pac football for his defensive performance.
And Tanner Volpatti is a 5th-year senior. Just one of those guys that's an absolute role model in the locker room. Something that guys rally around. And he's a guy that they look to in big moments. And he always comes up big for them. He was the Pac Defensive Player of the Week last week. And he's one of those game-changing players that interceptions in the pass game, tackles for losses in the run game, he does it all.
11 tackles last week in their victory, 40-point margin against Geneva. Now, W&J set up on a 2nd and 6 from the 47-yard line. Handoff over the left-hand side, a nice run, and near first down yardage around the 46-yard line of Waynesburg, and the officials are waving him through.
Waynesburg's defense, it's kind of hard to say, but they need another turnover.
DeRosa takes it left side one more time, able to spin and make a man miss, and finally brought down after a nice gain to the 42.
Just another change of pace back for W&J. They're going up tempo now.
Pass out from Pugh to McCosco. out near first down yardage once again, maybe a little bit short. 3rd and 1, and another flag on the play. Looks as though it may have been an unnecessary roughness. The flag is out right there, a yard from the sideline. Referees are talking about what the call is going to be. McCosco has his hands up like, I didn't do anything, and now he's reacting to what he is hearing from the officials.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 14 of the offense. 15-yard penalty. The play counts. It'll be 3rd down. That is number 14's second unsportsmanlike foul of the game. He's been disqualified from further competition.
So Coach Sirianni not happy with Jake McCosco there, who gets slammed to the ground pretty hard after that play, out of bounds especially. And then he gets up to retaliate. And then he's the one that gets stuck with the personal foul, unnecessary roughness call, and that's his second of the game. And for those of you that don't really know, after the second personal foul, you're ejected from the game. And McCosco, who's been your number one contributor on the offensive end, now he's out.
Do I understand it correctly that because the tackle began while McCosco's foot was still in bounds, the way that it finished, even though it was as far out of bounds as it was, that's because it was started in bounds, that's why it wasn't a penalty?
Exactly.
Nice screen pass by Pugh to Kobe DeRosa out over the right side, picking up all those yards from the penalty and the yardage needed for the first down. Great move, great play, call, and execution by Washington and Jefferson.
You know, you lose a receiver, but you have another receiver in Kobe DeRosa who's playing running back, but does a great job outside the backfield. Another miscommunication there with the exchange.
How difficult is that exchange, that run-pass option, where Pugh has to decide at the very last moment whether he's going to allow the running back to take it or keep it himself? How complicated can that exchange be?
It's very complicated because it's not a designed play. You cannot call in the huddle or give it to the running back or the quarterback's keeping it. It's all up to Pugh in the spur of the moment. And then he needs to sell his fake if he's holding it or if he's giving it as long as possible. And that's where the fumbled exchanges happen.
Play action pass and a great touchdown reception by Zach Seaman. He's a sophomore, 5'11", 180 out of Louisville, Ohio. His number is not called very often, but big catch there.
Zach Seaman able to go straight up the seam. And what a beautiful ball by Jake Pugh. That's exactly where you want to put it, on the outside shoulder of the slot receiver, Zach Seaman, who makes a great adjustment to the ball. And now WJ is up 3 scores here with the extra point blocked, keeping it at a 20-point game here.
27-7, the Presidents over the Yellow Jackets.
What keeps you moving? Is it your grandkids learning to ride a bike? Or Fido wanting to go for walks? At Washington Health System Center for Orthopedic Excellence, our highly trained team offers a wide variety of services, all tailored to your specific needs. Don't let pain or injury stop you any longer. Choose Washington Health System for your orthopedic care and take your first steps towards recovery and a healthier, more active life.
My name is Loretta, and this is Special Olympics Pennsylvania.
Special Olympics Pennsylvania is competition.
Special Olympics Pennsylvania is leadership.
Special Olympics Pennsylvania is life-changing.
Special Olympics Pennsylvania is unified.
Special Olympics Pennsylvania is inclusion.
Jacob McConsko called for his second unsportsmanlike. Just had a conversation with Coach Sirianni, and into the locker room, he just went with those 2 penalties, ejected from the game. You know, when you look at McConsko, Guaduzzi, Rosati, Hugh, you're talking about juniors and sophomores. It may be a little bit premature to look at next season, but this offense is set up to be just as good, if not better, next year.
Exactly. You see the biggest jump happening with these players from their sophomore into their junior years. They're key contributors last year. Like Peduzzi was a great wide receiver 1. Jake Pugh, great QB1 last year. And then they just made that huge step into this year. They get that experience, and then they're able to come back for another full season and really be key contributors.
Kickoff taken inside the 5. Made it back out to the 20-yard line. Waynesburg now trailing by 20 points. 3:37 to go in the second quarter. And we were talking earlier about how you want to see Waynesburg run, but it seems as though W&J has that completely sniffed out. There have been a number of plays where there have been tackles for loss on running plays, normally something that doesn't happen on runs.
Exactly. Now, you know, you're running low on the first half, you're down 20 points. You're kind of forced to throw anyway. The game script kind of flips now. You got to do things you're a little uncomfortable with, but you still have time to go back to the run game.
Sam Barber in a wide receiver screen, the catch, and then a fumble on the play by Dakota Romantino. And he was able to fall on it, and they maintain possession.
Dakota Romantino is one of those players that you really want to see get going, especially because now you're forced to throw a little bit more often. He's the guy you want to get the ball to. Not able to hold on to it on that play. Still able to save it. Now, for your Waynesburg offense, you have a lot of big bodies up front. Maybe continuously go to some screen games. Maybe go to wide receiver screens. Mix up a little bit. But also take your shots down deep. All these corners are playing up one-on-one.
Run by Cali over the right side. Darts and makes a man miss and gets out around the 24-yard line. Nice pickup on that, setting up a 3rd and 6, 7 yards on that play.
It's obviously important for the Waynesburg offense to score before this first half ends. But I think the more important thing is you do not let WJ get another chance on offense before this first half ends. You know how quickly they can score. You can't leave any sort of time left on the clock. So even if you don't score, as long as you hold the ball till the end of this first half, I think will be key.
Barber's in shotgun. Cali to his hip, out to the flat. None able to rein that ball in, and an incomplete pass, and now setting up. Well, they called that a lateral, and it looks as though they're going to roll it as a fumble.
And that was a good play by Cawley, just able to tap it out before Avery Keith can scoop it up before he gets out of bounds.
First charge time out of the half. Washington and Jefferson. There was a ball that was fumbled out of bounds. Please set the game clock to 2:07. Game clock to 2:07.
What was that like?
30-second timeout.
It's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow, especially your last time putting on a W&J uniform. It's kind of a bittersweet moment because you get to celebrate your career as a football player through the high school level, through the college level. But with this being your last game, it's just something that it's kind of cliche, but you got to leave it out on the field.
Right.
You can't retire. You can't hang it up with that little regret. Maybe I had a little bit left in the tank. You got to give it all today, and that's the hardest thing to do. But you do it with your teammates, with your brothers surrounded around you. But it's just a great feeling, a very nostalgic feeling as a football player.
For our viewers, Alex played here at W&J. When you look at that countdown, if you will, that goes through your mind, does it start that week? That this is the final time for preparation? Takes the punt, and out to around the 19-yard line. W&J now gets it in absolutely wonderful field position inside the red zone for Waynesburg.
We'll get back to Waynesburg in a second, but just to answer your question, Mangino, it's like that countdown. It starts with your first day of camp. You know, it's like your last.
First charge time out of the half. Waynesburg, second timeout.
It starts from the beginning of the season, you know, especially during week 1, first day of camp. It's like, this is the last time I'm going to do this. And then you get in the lull of the season, week 3, week 4, you kind of forget about it for a little bit because you have other goals in your mind for the team. And then you hit senior day and it's like, what happened? You know, now you're walking across the field for the last time, and it's sad. It's tough. It's tough to do as a player. But it's like I said, it's a great feeling. You get to do it around people that you've kind of grown up with, grown with. And it's just a good time all around.
Great relationships that you form so oftentimes with these guys, that people that you play with, you'll be friends with all the way through adulthood, and maybe lifelong friends as well. All right, W&J now looking at a 1st and 10 inside the red zone. Pugh fakes the handoff out to Baduzzi, unable to make the connection there, overthrown, setting up a 2nd down.
So Waynesburg did exactly what I said they shouldn't do, and that's give the ball back to the W&J offense, especially in plus territory, and almost in the red zone already, not setting themselves up to succeed in this first half right now. They're down 20 points, but I could see the aggressive play call with the fake punt. You know, you're trying to make something happen, especially on the offensive side, but it unfortunately leads to a costly mistake.
Pugh RPO, pass out, trying to connect once again with Baduzzi, unable to. And an incomplete pass. You know, even though Baduzzi and McCosker, we were talking about how Baduzzi was his #1 target earlier in the season and McCosker kind of taking over that. There's also Anthony Rosati, who is not only the #3 wide receiver for W&J, he's also the #7 receiver in all of the President's Athletic Conference.
And that's because they like to go to him on 3rd downs. He's that reliable target, and he does such a great job of finding the zone window, finding where the holes are in the defense, and he exploits that. Him and Pugh are always on the same page with it.
Pass to Baduzzi around the numbers. He catches it around the 10-yard line, very close to 1st down yardage there. And the referees say not only was it close enough, he got it 1st and goal from the 10 now for W&J on a running clock, 1:33 to go.
It's a great play, getting Baduzzi on that curl route. Knowing that Waynesburg's secondary struggled to guard them one-on-one, especially in man coverage. And then Pugh is just, he's being extremely accurate. He's taking what the defense gives him, and he's making plays with his legs.
Huss to his left. Passes out to Huss, tackled at the 6-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 6 for W&J. Clock under 1 minute to go. They do have 2 timeouts, so the clock really isn't a factor at all in this.
So Huss does a great job of stopping on a dime, that jump cut that he does so well. Unfortunately, when you're doing that, you're a little off balance, so just a little touch of the hand by the Waynesburg defense causes them to fall down.
Huss behind Pugh. And flag on the play. Motion by W&J. Does it change the playbook all that much in a 2nd and goal from the 6, 2nd and goal from the 11?
No, especially because, you know, the lead you also have and the time constraints. You know, you're not going to see really a run play here. You have a couple timeouts in your back pocket if you're Mike Sirianni, but he wants to make sure that Waynesburg doesn't have a chance to get the ball back on offense.
Philly still 2nd down. To avoid the 10-second runoff, Washington and Jefferson has elected to use their 2nd timeout. This will be a 30-second timeout.
What do you think about the decision to go ahead and take the timeout instead of the 10-second runoff, considering we're looking at 40.8 to go until half?
I believe that Coach Sirianni wants to go for it on 4th down if the opportunity arises. You know, he really wants to put this game out of reach. And the momentum that you get for a touchdown late in this first half, especially already being up 3 scores, it kind of demoralizes you as a losing team, as the Waynesburg team is right now. But the field goal kind of keeps that little bit of hope, like, hey, we're still in this. A touchdown really puts that dagger in, and that's what I think Mike Sirianni is looking to.
still having one timeout in his pocket, the whole field is open to him as well.
You're definitely going to see Rosati working one-on-one in the slot. You also have Peduzzi on the outside on a potential fade ball. But don't forget about Ray Holmes. Don't forget about Zach Cernuto. Those are the guys they look to in the red zone. We've already seen Cernuto on a pair of touchdowns today.
Cernuto to the left, Holmes to the right. And a pass to the corner to Peduzzi. He catches it, and touchdown, Washington and Jefferson. What a catch by Peduzzi on that one, and a beautiful pass by Q.
We're going to see Peduzzi working a little corner route on the outside, so he breaks to the inside, stems up the DB, gets him on his back pocket, able to make a great turn to the right side. But more impressive is how he got these feet down. Great ball by Pugh. I don't think he's really in bounds all that much, but the referees here do not have the luxury of an instant replay, so whatever they see on the field goes.
And right now they line up for two out to Cernuto, and it looks as though he came up just short. They're saying that he was down before he crossed the goal. So it's 33-7, W&J over Waynesburg.
They try to get Cernuto out on the flat, try to see if he can break a tackle. He ends up extending for the goal. Cernuto thinks he got it. Referee disagrees. And now we see 33-7 in favor of the Presidents. And that's exactly, they wanted to score a touchdown. They knew that. And we're going to take a look at this catch by Peduzzi for the touchdown on this corner route. Clearly has possession. It's just the white line on the back of the end zone. It's close, and it seems like the referees...
Well, they called it a touchdown. That's all that matters.
Exactly. And then we don't have the luxury of going back and reviewing it.
Yes.
You guys in the audience
maybe we can talk to Jake about getting pylon cams.
Exactly. We'll see if that's in the budget next year.
W&J set for the kickoff. They're up 33-7 going into the half. 34.7 seconds left to go. And the score obviously impressive. The kick taken at the 5-yard line. Breaking it back over the middle. Great open field tackle at about the 12. Flags coming in from what looked to be 30 yards away. I think the umpire was looking to show off his arm.
They've had a lot of practice today with that.
Yes, he threw that in from around the 50, made it all the way to the 20. He was making a statement with that penalty.
During the return, holding 32, return team. Half the distance to the goal from the end of the run. First down, Waynesburg.
And you hear the defense coordinator for WJ, Vince Labara, saying nothing over your head. 28 seconds left in the half. All the way backed up inside your 10. There's really not much you can do as a Waynesburg Yellow Jacket on the offensive end right now. We're going to see if they just go to a run play, try and bleed the clock out, and go in the locker room.
Barber hands off to Cowley. Able to get it out beyond the 10-yard line to the 11. The clock continues to run. Doesn't look as though anybody is interested in stopping this. And we are going to go into halftime. 33-7, W&J over Waynesburg. The Presidents leading the Yellow Jackets here at Cameron Stadium.
You want top quality roofing?
Replacing a roof isn't just shingles. It's a complete engineered system. Being Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Company, we offer free estimates from one of the most trusted and well-trained teams in the industry. With over 40 years in the business, JP Roofing is efficient and complete most roofing jobs in just one day.
If you're looking to get your roof replaced, hire JP Roofing and Siding. Quality long remembered at a fair price.
It's time to rediscover the original Voodoo Brewing Company pub in beautiful downtown Meadville. Enjoy world-renowned craft beer, delicious and unique cocktails, and one-of-a-kind food items. Celebrate an Allegheny win with the newest fall cocktail, Gator Juice. And if you're looking to take your celebration to the next level or host a private event, look no further than the Voodoo Production Facility and Event Space for your next event. For more information, visit VoodooBrewery.com.
Trout Plumbing is a registered and insured master plumber that services the South Hills. They offer a variety of services, including camera inspection and dye testing. Trout Plumbing also offers a veteran and senior citizen discount. When in doubt, call the Trout at 412-983-8106.
Here at Loway, we have a pretty vast array of customizable promotional products, from pens, signs, mugs, water bottles, really anything you can think of. Some of the main services we provide here are screen printing, embroidery, and promotional products. What really sets us apart from our competitors is our on-staff design crew and our customer service. We can really help take your branding and marketing to a new level. The main thing you can expect from us here at Loway is quick turnaround times and a really high quality product.
I started working out with my dad when I was 12 years old. He said, "While everybody else is sleeping, you up working. It's gonna pay off for you." Biggest decisions I ever had to make my junior year. I had my daughter at the time, so, I'm like, I gotta provide. I had the opportunity to leave early. I had to make a decision. Was I gonna leave or was I gonna come back to college for an extra year? I'm about to cry talking about this shit. Once I made that decision to come back, my mindset wasn't just to be good, it was to be great.
Allison and Michael have been in their home for 10 years, and their bathroom really needed an update.
I like doing home projects. Would have definitely taken me longer than we have.
They needed a more convenient option, so they called West Shore.
The design consultant made it really easy.
I left for work with the kids, and they showed up. Morning.
Have a nice day at school.
By dinner time, we had our bathroom.
It's 33-7, Washington and Jefferson all over Waynesburg. The Presidents beating up on the Yellow Jackets today. We're going to take a look back at last week in the Presidents Athletic Conference and the top 5 plays as they're presented by Waynesburg's own Ethan Spazarski right here on KDKA+.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this week's top 5 plays around the PAC. I'm Ethan Spazarski, and we're now going to take a moment and look through all top 5 plays around the President's Athletic Conference.
The number 5 play of the week. We start down in Westminster as the Carnegie Mellon Tartans do an offensive flea flicker that leads to a 60-yard pickup. Although they didn't score, this was a great morality boost for the Tartans. The number 4 play of the week. We head to Geneva as quarterback Brutus Ogilvy goes to a scramble, then flicks it off to Logan Kent for a 40-yard rushing pickup, setting them up for a touchdown drive to tie the game against Washington and Jefferson. The number 3 play of the week. We head to Bethany as the Bison are set to punt, but the Yellow Jackets have J.J. Valle-Smith, who blocks the punt and picks it up for Waynesburg. This play leads into our number 1 play of the week. The number 2 play of the week. Aaron Hedge slams into Westminster Titans tight end Damon Mall for a major stop on 4th down. Carnegie Mellon would go and get the ball back, score, giving them a bigger lead against Westminster. And finally, the number 1 play of the week. After Valle-Smith's blocked punt, Zane Colley goes on the first play and takes it to the end zone after a 43-yard rushing touchdown, in which would be his first of 4 on the day.
Congratulations to all the players and teams that made the top 5 plays this week. I'm Ethan Spazarski signing off, saying so long. We'll see you next time.
And once again, it's halftime here at Cameron Stadium. W&J up 33-7 over Waynesburg. Thanks to Ethan there for the top 5 plays in the pack from last week. It's now time for the sit-down interview that our own Austin Bechtold had with the tail running back for Justin Flack for Waynesburg, number 6 in the pack in rushing. And here's that sit-down interview with Austin.
Hi everyone, you're watching a presentation of PAC football. I'm Austin Bechtold. Today I'm joined alongside Waynesburg 5th-year running back Justin Flack. Justin, it's great to be with you. So overall in your football journey, how did you start playing football? Why football? And how has your relationship with the game grown over the years?
Yeah, so I started when I was 5 years old, but I think I started before that. As far as I can remember, I've always turned on ESPN and there's something about the game of football that I've always loved. I've had the opportunity to be coached by a lot of really. I've had the opportunity to be coached by a lot of coaches who have a lot of experience under their belts, and they've played not only at the collegiate level, but they played at the NFL level as well. And so I've been able to take pointers from them and really grow and be able to grow my game.
Growing up, did you play any other sports that have helped you in your transition, going into full time in football, and really just overall, how many people were so instrumental for you growing up in the Derry area?
Yeah, so I did track and field for 2 years. I wish I would have done that for 4 years, but I kind of my second love is the game of is hockey. So I played hockey for throughout my high school career as well. But I've had so many people that I've looked up to. My old high school head coach Tim Sweeney, he was a very instrumental part of the reason why I chose to play college football. He helped me a lot through that process, and I'm definitely grateful for that.
So how did you find Waynesburg?
Yeah, so I think I visited like 13, 14 different colleges. But Coach Moore and Coach Smithley at the time, they were really hard on they really advocated on me coming here, and they really pushed for me to come here, and I was really sold on what they were doing as a coaching staff, and then just seeing the things that Waynesburg had to offer, I definitely want to be a part of that for 4 years. So.
What's one of your favorite memories wearing the Waynesburg uniform?
Man, there's a lot of really good memories, but I think just being around my teammates and being around those guys were those are the memories that definitely going to last a long time.
Now, what do you enjoy about the Waynesburg culture, the community, the campus, everything that comes with it?
Yeah, so the culture here, I think, as we all know, is changing with Coach Coleman and the coaching staff, and I'm so excited to see the direction continually grow here at Waynesburg. It's a place that you want to come and be here for 4 years. It's a exciting place to be, and the moment I stepped on campus, I loved every single part of it.
We're talking to Waynesburg running back Justin Flack. Justin, as one of the main leaders on this team, especially on the offensive side of the ball, what do you try to do to help out younger players, freshmen, sophomores that are new to the team?
Yeah, so whenever I came in as a freshman, I was blessed with some really good senior leadership, guys like Alex Polina, Chad Walker, Tyler Perrone, Mason Strinker. Those guys, they weren't, they took me under their wing kind of, not just me, but the younger guys as well. And I think to see that and to be able to be a voice for the opportunity. To be an opportunity to be a voice for the younger guys coming in, I think is something that I want to be a part of.
So this is your final season playing for the program. What do you plan to do after Waynesburg?
Yeah, so I applied for the state police in the spring, so I'm definitely looking into that. I'm hoping that goes well. It's something that I was always interested in growing up, and so.
What do you think draws you to law enforcement?
There's a lot of controversy, when you talk about law enforcement these days, but, there's a lot of good people out there with good intentions, and I want to be a part of that.
What type of legacy do you want to leave on the Waynesburg football program?
Just that I'm a humble person that just wants to see Waynesburg succeed. We haven't really been the talk of anything over the past decade, and so I think to be able to help change my culture here and be a part of that is something I want to be a part of.
What's one message that you would give to your family, to your friends, to your support staff throughout your entire journey?
That I thank them for all the support. I've had a ton of support, whether that would be from former coaches, former teammates, current coaches. I'd definitely say thank you for those guys for always supporting me. You know, I know in high school, my senior game, it was a semifinal game against North Catholic. It was like, I think it was like 15 degrees. It was raining and cold and everything, but to see the support of my family and friends come out, I truly love that.
Justin, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, all.
Justin Flack representing Waynesburg football.
33-7 is the score. Washington and Jefferson all over Waynesburg. We will have a rundown and a look back at the first half stats coming up in just a moment right here on KDKA+.
We've continually invested in the best resources in advanced dental technology to ensure gentle and more efficient treatment for all of our patients.
It's very gratifying for me to live in the community where we practice.
At our practice, we specialize in sedation dentistry, dental implants, and general dentistry.
We take excellent care of our patients so that they're comfortable each time they come visit us.
Families have been coming to DeBartolo Dental through the years. Our patients' kids and grandkids are now also our patients.
Excellent job, okay? That was tough competition, but it was good competition. It shows you what we need to work on. You can't give up, okay? And you never have. You've never made excuses. So we just get back in, we get in the trenches, we play 2 games tomorrow, and then we see what we end up with. Got it? All right. 1, 2, 3. TDKA!
Maya, can you come in here, please?
Already.
Yeah, Dad, what's up?
Is that your brother on the TV?
Yeah, that's my brother. It looks like it's tonight's game.
But how can that be your brother? I have never missed a single game.
We couldn't go tonight. Remember, you broke your foot.
Right. Well, I don't know who's putting on this production, but without them, I'd be missing this.
It's time to rediscover the original Voodoo Brewing Company pub in beautiful downtown Meadville. Enjoy world-renowned craft beer, delicious and unique cocktails, and one-of-a-kind food items. Celebrate an Allegheny win with the newest fall cocktail, Gator Juice. And if you're looking to take your celebration to the next level or host a private event, look no further than the Voodoo Production Facility and Event Space for your next event. For more information, visit voodoobrewery.com.
Your first alert weather.
A marginal threat for some strong to severe thunderstorms popping tomorrow.
Wherever, whenever. CBS News Pittsburgh.
We're going to see some rain, some thunderstorms developing for parts of this weekend.
On the free CBS News app and Pluto TV.
What happens when you put students first? At Pittsburgh Public Schools, you get exceptional learning experiences in 54 schools, including 1 online academy, in 85 early childhood classrooms, 20 magnet schools, and 16 career and technical education programs. More options, more opportunities, more ways we put every one of our 20,000 students first. Always, in all ways.
Washington and Jefferson over Waynesburg. And even though the score is obviously very dominant for Washington and Jefferson, we have not seen the best of Washington and Jefferson today.
And that's what we've seen through a lot of these games that we've been able to broadcast, and we haven't seen their perfect game. We haven't seen their great football game. We see the stats, we see the scores. They balloon up, they win by large margins, but you see all the penalties, you see all the mistakes that back themselves up way too much. And that's the toughest part for them, is they need to play their best game still. And unfortunately, this is the last game of the regular season, so we might not even see that. But it's still there. We know there's something there. Maybe we'll roll over to next year.
When you look at these stats here that are up right now, it looks as though W&J is just absolutely dominating, and they are. I mean, my goodness, they're winning 33-7. But they have total yards of offense, 363 to 68, almost 300 more yards in offense, 295 yards. They clearly have it, and you just want to see them go just the next step further.
And this has been the thing that's limited them all season, and that's penalty yards. You see 147 yards, and then you see them make it up with the total yards that they see with the 363 in the first half. But 147 penalty yards, and you get your number one receiver disqualified for penalty yardage. It's just like you're waiting to see, can they get out of their own way? Can they really make that push forward? And then you see all the dynamic plays, you see all the highlights that W&J puts up, but then you don't see the things behind the scenes.
Nice run here that turned into the very first turnover of the game. And there were a series of turnovers at the beginning of this game, along with this one, and then the interception that was thrown. And you were commenting in the first couple of minutes of play, there was only one actual play that was actually a completion for yardage.
And then we see Cernuto leaking out of the backfield, which he does so well, gets lost in the shuffle, and then he runs it by himself in their jumbo package, going at the quarterback position. And then we see Cauley doing what he does best, running the ball, getting that touchdown. And then we see this play here, able to find Peduzzi over the middle, and he just using his lightning speed to blow past the entire secondary for the Waynesburg defense. And then Pugh with an absolutely gorgeous pass to the seam route on Zach Seaman. And then towards the end of the half, Pugh finding Peduzzi for a questionable inbounds, but it was called nonetheless, so I'm not gonna argue that. And we just see the dominance for W&J continue. Doesn't matter, it's the last game of the season, but man, I just want to see these Presidents at full 100% form with no penalty yardage. Maybe they'll turn it around the second half. We'll see.
What makes Pugh so special?
And it's just like he's not one-dimensional. And a lot of quarterbacks, especially at this level, are one-dimensional. They have a big arm. They have fast legs. They're a running quarterback, but he does it both. And he does a good job of switching up. Is he staying in the pocket? Is he leaving the pocket? Mm-hmm. And he's very reactive. He's an athlete. He's a reactive player. And that's what makes him so hard to stop, because he can turn an average play, an average slant pass, or he can pull it and he can take it off for a huge gain.
33-7 is the score here at halftime. We will have the second half kickoff coming up in a moment on KDKA Plus.
At Two Men and a Truck, we'll treat you and your belongings like we'd treat our own grandmas.
Here we go. Welcome.
Whether we're moving you across town or even across the country.
You want top quality roofing?
Replacing a roof isn't just shingles. It's a complete engineered system. Being Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Company, we offer free estimates from one of the most trusted and well-trained teams in the industry. With over 40 years in the business, JP Roofing is efficient and complete most roofing jobs in just one day.
If you're looking to get your roof replaced, hire JP Roofing and Siding. Quality long remembered at a fair price.
What keeps you moving? Is it your grandkids learning to ride a bike? Or Fido wanting to go for walks? At Washington Health System Center for Orthopedic Excellence, our highly trained team offers a wide variety of services, from sports medicine, general orthopedics, arm, elbow, and wrist care, to arthroscopic surgery, fracture care of foot and ankles, same-day joint replacements, and minimally invasive surgery, all tailored to your specific needs. Discover the difference at WHS. We don't just treat your symptoms, we empower you to live your best life, free from pain and limitations. Don't let pain or injury stop you any longer. Choose Washington Health System for your orthopedic care and take your first steps towards recovery and a healthier, more active life. Call us or visit our website to schedule your appointment today.
You can now get more local news on KDKA Plus. More breaking news.
Residents are being asked to stay outside of their house.
more community stories, more weather.
A couple of funnel clouds were spotted.
Weekdays at 12:30 on KDKA+.
33-7 is the score here at Cameron Stadium, Washington and Jefferson over Waynesburg. Give me some insights, Alex, here. What is success in the second half for Waynesburg?
Success is, can you sustain drives? Can you control the field? And I think that's something, especially against a tough W&J defense. Can you put drives together? Can you show a good mix of play calling? Forget about the score. Go back to the run game. Find what you do well. And then give yourself something to hang your head about at the end of this game. It might not be reflective of the scoreboard, but can you just put some good drives, good plays together? Can you make some turnovers? Can you do some splash plays? Get yourself excited for Waynesburg football towards the end of the season.
And the kickoff taken at the 7-yard line. Nice return, finds himself a crease out over the 40. Nice kick and return by Waynesburg. So Sirianni and Washington and Jefferson, you talked about the penalties in the first half. I'm guessing the big conversation at halftime was something along the lines of, we got to clean this up.
Exactly. And Coach Sirianni obviously is not quiet about what they want to work on.
Return team.
And they know what they need to work on. They don't need to put up more yards. That's not what they need to do. They need to limit the penalty yards. So can we see their focus shift to, hey, if we go up tempo, can we not jump off sides? Can we not have men downfield when they're not supposed to?
Barber and handoff to Cowley. Up over that right side, able to pick up some nice yardage. About 6 yards on that play. And Waynesburg doing what they can seem to do, which is run the ball. Zane Cowley, big game last week, rushed for over 300 yards. They're hoping for some kind of a performance from him in that second half today.
If you're an opposing team like W&J and you see that stat line and you're playing them the next week, you know you're not going to let this person beat us. You're not going to let Cawley beat you in the run game. So now you're loading up the box and you're making them throw the ball.
Barber to Cowley one more time. First down yardage on that, out beyond the 25 to the 26. So 2 carries, 11 yards. And once again, maybe wanting to set up what you were talking about earlier in the game, where you run the ball, maybe get that box a little tighter, and then hopefully open things up for the play action pass game later on.
You want the secondary to feel the threat of pass. So whether or not you take deep shots, if you're going over the middle, you just can't let those secondary, those safeties, those corners just keep flying up for the run.
RPO by Barber keeps it himself up over the 30-yard line. Pickup of nearly 5 yards on that play. So far, a nice series here for Waynesburg.
And you have that first initial run back on the return, which gets called back. So we're talking about how W&J needs to limit their penalty yards. Maybe Waynesburg's got to listen to that too and limit their own penalty yards. And then you see Cawley's put together some good runs so far, some positive, good gains. They have not taken any steps back yet. But I just want to see them try to do something dynamic, try and stretch the field.
Barber back to pass, out to Cawley in the flat, and immediately taken out of bounds by Volpatti on the play. Tanner Volpatti already with an interception and tackle for loss, and big play there on that play.
And we haven't really been able to see what Barber can really do in the pass game because of all the pressure that's been in his face all day. So getting those quick flare routes, those out routes to your receivers, to Cawley, coming out of the backfield, giving Barber some confidence to finally get the ball out of his hands and not let that pass rush of the Presidents get right to him.
4 wide receivers all bunched up on the near side, right around that 30-yard line. Setting up for a wide receiver screen and then going in the opposite direction, and almost an interception by Bruno Fabrici. He was the player of the game from last week against Geneva and almost had a pick and maybe even a pick 6.
What they were trying to do is they put 4 guys on the right side. They wanted to get one-on-one against Fabrici. Fabrici doing a great job of breaking to the ball and coming downhill to break it up.
And there's a flag on this play.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. 79 offense. 15-yard penalty. Still third down.
So what was a 4th and 3 to make you feel as though, okay, maybe we can go for this, now becomes a 4th and 18 and a clear punting situation for Waynesburg.
Just not many positives from this drive. You got a first down. Used Collie a lot. Got him a lot of touches, which is what you want to see, even in the run game and the pass game. But there's just no threat vertically at all from this Waynesburg offense. You don't see any sort of the safeties lining up deep because they know they have a threat over their head. So until they show otherwise,
they're going for it. That penalty replaying 3rd down, my apologies for that. So now it's 4th down on that short pass play out to the left flat. Now they will be going ahead and kicking it here on this 4th down play, 4th and 12 from their own 24.
So I talked about having that threat vertically. And not only does it mean you can stretch the field, but also can you make these secondary, these corners, these safeties line up deeper than they have to? You see that right now they're lining up 10 yards in the backfield, in the box. When in reality, if you can stretch the field, you can get those safeties lined up almost 15 yards back.
33-7, Washington and Jefferson all over Waynesburg. 11:36 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Sideline warning. Washington and Jefferson. That is their first of the game. First down. This will be a full media.
W&J takes possession, their first one of the 3rd quarter, coming up after this on KDKA+.
Dental implants can give you back the confidence and smile you feel has been missing. Implants feel, look, and function like natural teeth. And now you can get 12 months, same as cash. Call DeBartola Dental for an appointment at 412-221-9440.
When you step through that door or shake their hands, will you be prepared? When you stand up for a client or walk into that meeting, will you be ready? Ready to prove to them that you deserve to be there?
When you come to Washington and Jefferson, you will be.
Washington and Jefferson College. Are you ready?
Why call 2 men in a truck? If you're like Kate, you're moving and you work hard. You've got lots of stuff and no time to move it. You need pros, people who care about it as much as you do. That's why you call 2 men in a truck.
2 men in a truck.
$33-7. Washington and Jefferson all over Waynesburg. W&J taking their first possession of the second half. Pugh line up in the backfield. Hands it off up the middle. Nice run all the way out to the 50-yard line. Pickup of 13 on that play.
And they just go right down the Waynesburg defense throat right here. Owen Patricic able to find that gap. Really explodes. Has a great first step acceleration. Set them up nicely for another first down.
Pugh rolling. Has a man. Connection right around the 32-yard line. Great pass and catch. Paducci. That ball was thrown long before Paducci ever made that break.
And that's something that makes the receiver so great, is everything is a fade until it's not. They run as fast as they can straight down the field until they break off for that comeback route, not letting the DB have any sort of chance to recognize that it's coming.
Once again on the RPO over the left side this time. Another big gain, well over 10 yards. First down yardage on that play once again. W&J having their way with Waynesburg on this drive.
And it just, you don't see a weakness right now on the W&J side. You see how easy it is for them to throw, especially those intermediate routes. But then you're also seeing how easily they can gain so much yardage on the ground.
Fake the Patricic. Looking for Sanudo over the middle, just beyond his outstretched hand. not able to bring that one in. 2nd and 10.
This is a play that WJ likes to go to a lot. They fake the run, and then they have that seam with Cernuto going straight down the middle of the field. He, once again, for such a big body, you just lose him. You don't know where he's located at, and that's what makes him so dangerous. That's what you see him just wide open down the field, and it's great play design, also great execution by Pugh, showing that fake, making those run defenders commit and leaving him open.
Volpatti in for Patricic. RPO, Volpatti keeps it over the left side, down inside the 10-yard line, setting up a 1st and goal for W&J inside the 10.
We haven't really seen a lot of Troy Volpatti today, mostly because, I mean, you have 4 running backs, so one person's eventually going to lose some of their touches. But he's such a big body, able to make a lot of guys miss.
Volpatti up the middle, close to the 5-yard line. They're going to say he's down at the 6. 1st and goal at the 6 for W&J. This time, Pugh decides to keep it himself. Darts around over the left side, close to the end zone. Officials saying he's down at the 1. First time we've seen him run the ball today.
Was able to fight for a lot of yards. They're hurrying up back onto the offensive side.
Beautiful Patty. Waynesburg, great penetration off the defensive edge on that one. Able to stop him before he's able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
You know that Sirianni is going to want to go for it on 4th down, especially this close inside the 1, basically touching the goal line. We don't see the Presidents run a lot of QB sneaks, mostly because they mostly go out of the shotgun, but they love to go to Cernuto here at quarterback.
Cernuto and the Wildcat. Pugh on the sideline. Takes it over the right side. Cernuto doesn't break the plane. It looks as though he may have fumbled going into the end zone, and they're calling a touchback.
I'll tell you what, this Waynesburg defense is full of surprises. Just a huge hit on Cernuto as he tries to cross the goal line and pops the ball free. No one anywhere around on the W&J side. Meets him right in the hole. That's a picture-perfect tackle. Helmet on the ball, is able to pop it loose. And this is what we've seen from the Waynesburg defense a lot today, is creating turnovers, popping the ball free, and able to recover the fumbles. And then you look up the scoreboard, it's 33-7. This game could have gone a lot differently if this Waynesburg offense was able to heat up.
Waynesburg has it now at the 20-yard line, handoff to Cowley, and able to pick up a yard, maybe 2 on that play. That is now 2 possessions where W&J was going in for a score where there was a fumble right around the 1, maybe 2-yard line, fumbled it into the end zone, and then Waynesburg takes possession. There could easily be another 2 scores on that score.
Timeout for an injured player.
It's that classic saying, bend, don't break. And W&J had no problem going up and down the field here on that first drive, coming out of the second half. But then you see the Waynesburg defense able to shore up and cause a turnover. And there's no points on the board after that drive. So that's a win for the Waynesburg side.
All right, let's talk about the way things are set up in college football, D3 style, when it comes to playoffs. Playoff picture in D1 is a very small group of people who make those playoffs. But in D3 football, it's more involved. Talk about that.
So once you hear national playoffs, you hear college football playoffs, you think of the Division I playoffs, the 4-team playoff. You take the 4 best teams in the country, and then they play each other after that. However, in Division III, you have a 32-team playoff bracket, and that's mostly because there's 28 conferences. So every conference winner gets an automatic bid to the playoffs. So there's 28 of your 32 teams there. So where do those 4 extra spots come from? And they come from a selection committee, like you see with other college football playoffs. But they have to pick 4 teams from the entire country. that are not conference winners. So there you get your 32 teams. They play a bracket, a 32-team bracket, as you see on the screen here, over the course of the next 5 weeks, which could be basically another season for some of these teams, and they play in the championship game, which is known as the Stag Bowl. So that's a little different from what you're used to with a college football playoff, but that's that next step for a team like Grove City.
Waynesburg now taking it. Injured man on the play, was able to get up under his own power, pass and catch. First down yardage by Waynesburg. Jacob Brisky was the injured player, 6'3", 282, able to get up and get off to the sideline. And now Waynesburg looking at a 1st and 10 here, 7:45 to go on a running clock, looking for something in that pass play, maybe opening things up a little bit for them.
And we saw a glimpse of what Barber can do once he does not have a lot of pressure in his face. And now they can go back to Colley on the ground.
And they just did. Colley all the way out to first down yardage, pickup of almost 10 yards on that play over the left side. Even though they lost their left tackle there for a moment, still deciding to run that direction. Able to pick up the yardage that they needed for that first down. 1st and 10 from their 48. Barber and Cowley. Cowley on Barber's hip. Takes it over the left side again. Gets nice yardage, 7 yards on that play. Out over midfield near the 49-yard line of W&J.
We've been talking about Waynesburg's offensive woes all day, but I just can't stop talking about the yardage that Colley gets on a consistent basis. It seems very rare that where he's stopped in the backfield, if he has a chance to get his legs going, he's going for 6-7 yards almost every play. And that's something as an offensive coordinator, as a head coach, where you love to see that, especially building for the future.
Hand off to Cowley again up the middle this time. Gets the first down yardage that he needs all the way inside near the 40-yard line. It's one of those ones to where everybody in the building knows that Cowley's going to get it, and he gets it, and he still picks up a lot of positive yardage.
And that's a compliment to the offensive line. You have a lot of big, tall players on the offensive line that are able to really make that initial push, and then that gives Colley the opportunity to get past the first level and then make people miss in the second level and third level.
Waynesburg, 1st and 10 from the 40. Barber back to pass, looking over the middle, has a man in and out of his hands, incomplete. Setting up a 2nd and 10.
Adrian Letta coming across the middle, and he's telling his quarterback to lower the pass a little bit, bring it down a little bit. He's not a super tall receiver, very shifty. When you give that ball a little too high over the middle, that's where some guys can get hurt. And as a receiver, you really want to make sure you have an opportunity to catch the ball and run for extra yardage. So he's just telling his QB, lower it down a little bit for me.
Cowley taking it over the left side, picking up 1 on the play. Maybe 2. They're at the 38-yard line, 3rd and 8. Clock continues to run, 33-7, W&J over Waynesburg.
We'll see what type of play call they go to on a 3rd and 8, knowing that they can't just give it to Colley up the middle. They know that they have to do something a little out of their comfort zone. They need to throw the ball, stretch the field vertically, which I've been waiting for all day.
Barber rolls to his right, looking for someone. Has a man, great pass, and a completion right around the 20-yard line. Completed to Dakota Romantino. Haven't heard him much this afternoon. But then again, the passing game has not been what it has been in previous weeks. Dakota Romantino, number 6 in the pack, 34 catches, 474 yards, and 3 touchdowns, along of 54 on the season.
And we've been waiting for him to kind of make his presence known. But that was a beautiful throw by Barber.
Run over the left side once again. And a pickup of about 4 yards on the play. This
has been the type of drive that Waynesburg really wanted. They started backed up in their own territory after that huge turnover. And then now they're in the red zone. This is that positive outlook I wanted to see from the Waynesburg side. And we'll see if they can punch it in.
3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And a handoff to Cali one more time. Very close to first down yardage, near the 11. And it's a first down. 1st and 10 from the 11. Waynesburg feeling really good about this drive.
I know it's not the 336 yards like last week, but the type of runs that Colley's been able to pull together with the limited amount of room he's had to work with is very, very impressive.
In the pistol. Hand off to Cali over the right side. Breaks a tackle, finds the corner, pylon, touchdown. Touchdown, Zane Cowley.
This is just all about vision as a running back. Initially, a little stretch play. Blocking is great on the outside. Receiver's able to get in the way, let Cawley get around the edge, and he basically walks in for a touchdown, his second of the day.
They are set for the extra point. Waynesburg putting up 13, now looking for their 14th point. 14 more points than they've put up in the last 3 seasons. We'll talk about that and more coming up in a moment. 33-14, W&J over Waynesburg on KDKA+.
We believe that fear shouldn't stop you from having healthy teeth. Don't fear the dentist. Sedation is a safe option for you to be comfortable during your entire appointment. Call DeBartola Dental to schedule your visit now at 412-221-9440.
Here at Lowe, we have a pretty vast array of customizable promotional products, from pens, signs, mugs, water bottles, really anything you can think of. Some of the main services we provide here are screen printing, embroidery, and promotional products. What really sets us apart from our competitors is our on-staff design crew and our customer service. We can really help take your branding and marketing to a new level. The main thing you can expect from us here at Lowe is quick turnaround times and a really high-quality product.
Now is the time. Today is the day for us to strike out and move forward in confidence and faith.
Your first alert weather.
A marginal threat for some strong to severe thunderstorms popping tomorrow.
Wherever, whenever. CBS News Pittsburgh.
We're going to see some rain, some thunderstorms developing for parts of this weekend.
On the free CBS News app and Pluto TV.
It is Veterans Day here all over the country. We will be honoring it not only with the national anthem that we had earlier, but Mike Williams, assistant coach for the defensive line. He served in the military, graduated here in 19. He'll be coming up a little bit later on to talk to him about his decision to come here and then leave for a couple of years, if I understand that right, Alex, and then go to the military, serve, and come back and finish his playing career here. We'll have to talk about that
very,
coming
very
up a little
impressive.
bit later.
We're going to have to talk about it. Wait for him to tell us exactly what his life was like.
Kickoff by Waynesburg, picked up and swarmed down around the 18-yard line. So now W&J, once again, leading 33-14. It could easily be a 47-14 game.
And that was what was so important about that drive. The defense steps up, gets a big turnover. Can the offense carry that momentum? And they did. And they put together a very great drive. They used a lot of clock, used a lot of possession. But can this defense repeat it?
Pew RPO up the middle, stop, no gain on the play. Justin Huss not able to get anywhere. And we were talking right before the break after the score and the conversion. Waynesburg now putting up 14 more points in this set for today than they've put up in the last 3 season finales combined.
The last 3 seasons, you've seen that Waynesburg and W&J have played each other in the final regular season game. And then each of the last 3 years, Waynesburg has not even scored a touchdown, let alone a point. And now today they come out with 2 scores in this game with the potential to make it a closer game.
Pugh rolling out, trying to hit Paducci one more time on the sideline. Yeah, to go over the last 3 seasons, 177-0 they've lost in a combined score. We were talking earlier about moral victories, and are there moral victories? And even though Waynesburg is going to come out of this, and it doesn't look really all that good for them, losing 33-14 here late in the third quarter, you have to feel good if you're Waynesburg that you were able to put up 14 on a W&J team. Pugh back to pass. The pocket collapses and he goes down. Big tackle by number 47, Chase Nikomati. 6'2", senior, 235, number 1 on the team for sacks. Came into this game with 3, will make it 4.
Only a 3-man rush here. If you can send 3 guys to the quarterback and still get a sack, that's one of the most impressive things you can do as a defensive line. It really shows that dominance. It shows that extra confidence that you can put in your defensive line to drop a lot more guys in coverage but still get to the quarterback. And now Waynesburg's going to get the ball back, possibly in plus territory. Don't count out the Yellow Jackets just yet.
4th and 18. The kick is blocked. There are flags on the play, recovered by W&J at the 3-yard line. The 4, they'll call it. We still have to find out what the flag was. It looks as though it's going to be against W&J. And now the Yellow Jackets having the ball deep in W&J territory at the 4-yard line.
Holding. Kicking team. That penalty is declined. Result of play is first down.
So you see, as a punt block, just sending the house to try and potentially get that block, and then Hunter not able to handle the snap, drops it, picks it up, and then he's just trying to get rid of it. And then that's where the Yellow Jackets jump on it. And now they can be inside the 5 and they can run the ball.
Barber to Cali, flag on the play. They're going to whistle it dead. And back them up 5 yards. Official call from the ref.
False start. Offense. Number 79. 5-yard penalty. Still first down. Please set the game clock to 1 minute and 36 seconds. 1:36.
Everyone's blood's pumping still from the block kick. And they just can't sit still, so little offsides penalty. I mean, you still have first down and 10 yards. First down and 9 yards. Inside your own, inside the 10. Still go to what you do best. Don't try to do anything too extravagant. You can make this a game.
5 wide for Barber. He decides to keep it himself right up the middle. Nobody's home. Touchdown, Samuel Barber on a run, making this a 33-20 game. It is now a 2-score game. Waynesburg willing themselves back into this game.
I want to take another look at this play just to show the confusion. I've never seen a whole defensive unit be as confused as the W&J defense was on that play. We're going to take a look at it in a minute.
The extra point is up, and it is good. 33-21. Waynesburg's down by 12. What did you see, Alex?
So you send all empty sets. You have 5 receivers out, and then you're going to see Justin Johns, Tanner Volpatti on the outside. They're all going to rush. Tanner Volpatti is going to rush the quarterback here on the outside. Justin Johns is going to go out to try and protect on the outside, and then Barber able to just take it and run straight to the end zone. Play it. Justin Johns in coverage, not looking at the quarterback. And then we see the blitz on the outside. Barber has nothing but green light.
Do you think that was a play call, or Barber saw that and took advantage of the opportunity?
That's 100% a called play. It's called a QB draw. He fakes like he's going to pass. You send everyone on the outside. And then at that point, it's just one-on-one with the linebackers, but Justin Johns goes for the pass. And then you see the blitzing outside linebacker of Tanner Volpatti. And then there's absolutely nobody. So that's could be a little bit of luck, but also a great play design on the Waynesburg offense.
W&J only giving up a little over 17 points a game on average. Waynesburg putting up 21 on the Presidents this afternoon. Kick return out beyond the 30. W&J will take it 1st and 10 from the 31.
So you talked about the potential for the Presidents to go 47-7. And now you're looking at the scoreboard right here, and you see 33-21. And you're probably wondering what happened in the last 10, 15 minutes. Well, there's a lot that's happened. And there's 2 turnovers by the Waynesburg defense, which we thought was going to struggle today. And they've had their struggles of limiting the passing and the run yardage, but the scoreboard says differently.
Pugh over to Cernuto, catches it in the flat, dives for a few more yards, gets it out to around the 38-yard line.
See, I don't want to see. We know how great the Waynesburg or the W&J offense is with up tempo, and I know it's what they do well. But they've been having their way of getting up and down the field. They can easily sit on this play clock and chew down as much clock as they can, and just limit the possessions that Waynesburg even has.
Pugh back to pass. Completion. Peduzzi has it right around midfield at the 49-yard line. First down reception by Peduzzi.
Peduzzi's so great of stemming up the defender, able to break inside for his slant pattern that he took off for his huge 60-yard touchdown play earlier in the game. They're still giving it to him. They just don't want him to get on the outside towards the sideline. So they're going to live with those 10, 15-yard slant plays.
Peduzzi by himself to the top right. Handoff up the middle. Nice pickup. Big run by Kobe DeRosa. 40 carries on the season, 245 yards. He's averaging over 6 yards a carry, and he just helped his average on that one, picking up 8 on that play. As the third quarter clock runs down to around 10 seconds, Pugh decides to snap it. Keeps it himself, looking for somebody to throw to, makes the connection, and a nice run by Anthony Rosati to get near first down yardage once again as the third quarter clock runs out. The fourth quarter is coming up next. It's 33-21. The Presidents over the Yellow Jackets on KDKA Plus.
You can now get more local news on KDKA Plus. More breaking news.
Residents are being asked to stay outside of their house.
More community stories. More weather.
A couple of funnel clouds were spotted.
Weekdays at 12:30 on KDKA Plus.
When you step through that door or shake their hands, will you be prepared? When you stand up for a client or walk into that meeting, will you be ready? Ready to prove to them that you deserve to be there?
When you come to Washington and Jefferson, you will be.
Washington and Jefferson College. Are you ready?
Allison and Michael have been in their home for 10 years, and their bathroom really needed an update.
I like doing home projects. Would have definitely taken me longer than we have.
They needed a more convenient option, so they called West Shore.
The design consultant made it really easy.
I left for work with the kids and they showed up. Morning.
Have a nice day at school.
By dinner time, we had our bathroom.
And we are back 33-21. The Presidents over the Yellow Jackets. I'm Robert Mangino, and with me, Scott McGinnis, the athletic director here at W&J. And a much closer game that I think maybe W&J thought it was going to be.
Absolutely. It looks like we're in for an exciting fourth quarter here, and W&J driving here hopefully can put another score on, but good job by Waynesburg fighting back in this game.
Pugh now in the shotgun formation, actually pistol, hands it off up the middle, breaks a tackle up over the right side, gets the corner near the 20, close to red zone territory. Nice run by Kobe DeRosa. W&J has been able to move the ball quite effectively today, but a couple of key turnovers at really inopportune times as they were going in for touchdowns.
Yeah, definitely turnovers have made a difference in the game. And as I said, Waynesburg's doing a good job of sticking in there. I like our chances with Jake at quarterback here. Jake's having a great game and has had a great season, so hopefully we can punch one in here.
DeRosa once again bounces it outside, gets a couple of yards through to the 15-yard line. There's a flag that is down on the play. We'll see what ultimately the call's going to be. As an athletic director, when it comes to a program like this with football under Coach Sirianni and the performance of this team you just talked about, Pugh holding on the play, what does this mean for you and the rest of the athletics department here at W&J?
Yeah, absolutely. We are very proud of the fact that we've had football since 1890, and not too many college programs have been around in existence for that long. And so with Coach Sirianni as our head coach and everything that he's done for us, Coach Luckhart as well, who is on hand today for a ceremony at halftime. Football is a very important part of Washington and Jefferson College, and so we're always trying to find great players who want to come and play for a winning program.
DeRosa taking it over the left side, able to pick up some real nice yardage, almost 5 yards on that play on a first down because of the penalty, setting up a second down. Talk a little bit about some of the athletics that are coming up next. You know, obviously everybody knows about football, but there's just so much more when it comes to the athletic programs that are available here at W&J.
Yeah, we're very proud of the fact that we have 24 NCAA Division III sports at W&J. As the winter's approaching, our women's basketball team is hosting a tournament right now. We're playing Ohio Wesleyan in the championship game at 3 o'clock, and so our women's basketball team is a team that has had great success through the years, and they are going to have another great season led by Megan Dryberg from Baldwin. Our men's basketball team was selected the preseason favorite in the PAC as well, so high expectations for men's basketball. Our wrestling team's hosting an 18-team tournament right now at our rec center. Lots of craziness going on up there, but they were selected as the preseason favorite as well in the President's Athletic Conference. So a lot of exciting things ahead for the winter. It's been a great fall as well, and really we appreciate your coverage of the Division III football and everything that you guys have done this year, showcasing the President's Athletic Conference teams. I think it's been long overdue that these athletes deserve a chance to be on television and KDKA Plus, and we're really appreciative of everything that you and your team has done, because it's been great to see Division III football, small college football in Western Pennsylvania being showcased, because these athletes, they work just as hard as Penn State and Michigan are working, and they don't get the limelight often that the major Power 5 programs get, but really thrilled the coverage that you've all provided us this year.
Injured player on the field for Waynesburg, able to get up off the field on his own power. 2nd and 12 now for Washington and Jefferson. The realignment, if you will, of the President's Athletic Conference, Allegheny coming in. What does it mean to you and the program to have so many schools that are within an hour or two driving distance? Before you answer that question, pass in the end zone on a slant pattern and incomplete. W&J was looking for a flag on that play, didn't get it. They'll be repeating it and going at 3rd down, 3rd and 12. Talk about the realignment of the conference real quick.
Definitely. Allegheny is another storied program that we're really excited that they're back in the President's Athletic Conference. We now have 11 full football members, and so we have 10 conference games, and it's unique that we don't play non-conference games, but we have really great competition amongst our own conference here, and so I know our conference champion Grove City will go out in the NCAA playoffs and represent us well.
Pugh back to pass, looking for a man, completed right around the 13-yard line, trying to fight for that first down yardage. Seems to be a bit short, maybe 2 yards short on that reception, setting up a decision for Sirianni. Does he go for it here on a 4th and what looks like 2, or go ahead and kick the field goal? Well, I'm interested in finding out whether or not one more team gets attracted here to the back in order to have that nice even number of 12. Do you foresee that happening sometime soon?
I don't think it's happening immediately, but we always have open ears if anyone wants to come and join us in the PAC and become a member of our conference. We're always interested in that. I don't think anything immediately right now, but that would open up some different avenues for us if we added a member.
4th and 2, handoff to DeRosa up the middle. And it looks as though there may be a fumble on the play. Waynesburg is saying they have it. Definitely a stop. Not able to get through to the yard to gain.
Looks like
and
just
he was
short.
stopped just short. Waynesburg defense stepping up once again. A couple of key turnovers and that 4th down stop. Scott McGinnis, the athletic director here at Washington and Jefferson. Thank you very much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me. Enjoy the rest of the game here.
Thank you very much. So once again, Waynesburg able to have their defense step up and make a remarkable stop. Alex, that series by Waynesburg, which is a remarkable the way that bend, but don't break.
Exactly, and then that's what we kind of see. That's been the pattern all day today. WJ able to just fly up the field, get a lot of yards, and then they can't finish drives. And that's something that's really plagued them this season. Is you see the stats, you see the yards, you see the passing yards, you see 300 plus, 350 plus in the first half, but then you see only 33 points on the board. They haven't even scored that much in the second half, and they're leaving the door wide open for Waynesburg.
Waynesburg, back to pass, looking for a man, has him, just beyond the outstretched arms. Barber just not able to connect with Isaac Trout on that go route up the far sideline.
So we talk about, does Waynesburg have any moral victories here? And we're like, oh, what can you do to get any moral victories? And now they can win this game. Like, this game is still in reach. And it's just the real momentum shift from the block punt to the fumble in the end zone. It's really just a different game. It shows how momentum can really change. And you have something with a heavy favorite like WJ and then a real underdog with Waynesburg. And you look at the scoreboard, and this game is a lot closer than everyone thought.
Barber back to pass, looking for a man, has him open, but another interception. This one, great interception by number 19, Bruno Fabrici. Interception last week with a pick 6 against Geneva, and a key turnover right now for W&J.
And that's the guy that you were looking for to make a play for your defense, especially in the secondary. It was definitely a pass play call here. And then Bruno Fabrici, just showing his athleticism, and his number one trait is how athletic he is. And then you constantly leave him on islands. You constantly go with him one-on-one, and he just comes up big there.
So now W&J taking over. There seems to be an issue with the play clock, and the officials are looking to bounce that back up to a full 25 seconds.
Please turn off both play clocks, or do not use the working play clock until they both are functioning. We'll keep the play clock on the field.
So the play clock where W&J is currently going, the direction that they're going in, that play clock is working. It's set at 25. The opposing end zone is now dark. They are not going to use the play clock in the end zone to which they are going. It's going to be completely kept on the field. Pugh now, shotgun formation. Back rolling to his left. Looking for Peduzzi, and in and out of his hands. Just a little underthrown. Very, very close.
And Peduzzi had the separation from the get-go. They want to get him on the outside. They want to get him on the fade route. Pugh rolling on his outside. Able to still make a great throw. Just a little underthrown, letting the defender catch up. But we also can't forget the impact of Jake McCosco exiting the game. And having that extra threat on the outside, you have to switch to someone like Nick Wilson, number 9, to really step up at the outside receiver position. And then more of the attention's going on Peduzzi, and he has to do a little bit more to get open than if he had McCosco on the other side of him.
Zach Seaman on the slot. Pass out to the flat. Caught by Troll Volpatti at the 30-yard line. So we're looking at 5-yard completion there. 3rd and 5 now. They have to get to the 25 for a first down. Paducci set up wide to the left. Nick Wilson wide right. And Seaman going into the slot position on the right side. Anthony Rosati in the slot on the left. Pugh and Volpatti in the backfield. Pugh waiting for the snap. Back to pass. Looking. And it is batted at the line of scrimmage.
They tell you from a very young age as a defensive lineman, if you can't get to the quarterback, put your hands up. Even though you can't get to Pugh, you can't bring him down for the sack, throw your hands up once you see the ball, release, and that's just as important as if you got the sack. So now you have a 4th and 5. Sirianni, you know how aggressive a play caller he is. He's leaving his offense on the field. He's in that kind of no man's land. That's a pretty long field goal for Hunter. And now Waynesburg has a great opportunity to get this ball back.
Paducci left along with Rosati. And Seaman and Wilson to the right. Back to pass, looking, trying to find somebody. Plenty of time, pressure from behind, and ultimately sacked by Chase Nicomotti. Another big tackle for loss by Chase Nicomotti. Once again leads the team with sacks, now his 5th on the day. It's 33-21. Turnover on downs. Waynesburg gets it next on KDKA Plus.
Maya, can you come in here, please?
Already. Yeah, Dad, what's up?
Is that your brother on the TV?
Yeah, that's my brother. It looks like it's tonight's game.
But how can that be your brother? I have never missed a single game.
We couldn't go tonight. Remember, you broke your foot.
Right. Well, I don't know who's putting on this production, but without them, I'd be missing this.
At 2 Men and a Truck, we'll treat you and your belongings like we'd treat our own grandmas.
Here we go! Welcome.
Whether we're moving you across town or even across the country.
Chase Nicomotti in a big sack for Waynesburg on a turnover on down. So now Barber at the helm hands it off, and a big run down the left-hand side up over the 30-yard line. Now a penalty flag coming in to add yardage to that play. On top of that, Zane Cowley over the left side. Big run for Waynesburg, and there is so much life on that away bench right now.
So you run an inside run from your 30-yard line, and now you have the potential to be inside the red zone already on one play. That's the type of playmaking ability Cawley's had, especially today. Going against a great WJ run defense, give you that. And Waynesburg is just really opening up a lot of eyes.
Personal foul, horse collar, 3, defense. Half a distance to the goal is first down.
So the flag dropped inside the 30. Half the distance to the goal, sets it just inside the 15, near the 14-yard line. Barber now in the pistol formation. Cowley behind him. One wide receiver to his left. Handoff once again, bounces it over the tackle, picks up a couple of yards. Cowley for a couple on that play.
I would like to formally apologize to all the Waynesburg fans by talking about moral victories, because clearly they have what it takes to compete with a team like WJ. And coming in last 3 seasons, having 0 points put on the board against W&J, and now they have 21 points with the opportunity to put on more. It's really been very impressive, especially the second half. They come out as a brand new team.
Barber at quarterback. Takes the snap. Decides to keep it around the right side, stiff arm, and getting close to about the 12-yard line. Nice pickup on second down by Barber, running that RPO with Cowley, deciding to keep it himself, and got some nice yardage on that edge.
You see Barber doesn't necessarily have that breakaway speed, but he has that big frame, requires a lot of defensive players to come tackle him. And now you have a manageable third down, which obviously they're going for a touchdown here. A field goal doesn't really help you out a lot, so it's going to be touchdown or nothing here.
Man in motion. Oh, my goodness. Fumbled all the way back to the 25, and they're saying, no, it's an incomplete pass. Explain why that's an incomplete pass.
So it's all about the relation of the receiver to the quarterback.
Pass.
And you see the referees calling it an incomplete pass. So we see the throw by Barber here. So technically, he's not handing it off. He is pitching it forward, which counts as a pass. So it's like a jet sweep, but he tosses it, he passes it, so it goes down on the stat sheet as a pass play. And so if that snap or that exchange is mishandled in any sort of way, it's ruled as a dead ball.
So if he just reached out and just handed it to him, different play, right?
Yes, exactly. Different play.
Barber back looking, man over the middle, incomplete, broken up. Justin Johns from his linebacker position able to break up that pass.
And now W&J is doing their own type of bend, don't break mentality here. After having that huge play by Cawley to get him inside the red zone, they're able to stiffen up and they're able to stop Waynesburg on all 4 downs. W&J's offense back out in the field. There's still 9.5 minutes to go. This game is still attainable for each team. 12 points, that's a 2-score game for Waynesburg to make up in 9.5 minutes. Very possible, and especially with all the momentum they have, is looking more likely than ever.
Pugh takes it, hands it off, up the middle. Pickup of about 4 yards on the play. W&J shut out here in the third and now deep into the fourth quarter. They put up all their points in the first and the second. And all the first teamers are still out there. And that's what's important to keep in mind, too. You would think in previous years that maybe they would have turned off the Jets a little bit, but that's not the case at all for W&J at this point.
If you watched our broadcast when W&J took on Allegheny earlier in the year, this was an exact same scenario. W&J clearly had the upper hand going in the halftime, and then they didn't score at all in the second half.
And an inside handoff and a tackle at the 10-yard line. Loss of a couple on the play, setting up a 3rd and long.
This second half surge by Waynesburg is a product of 2 different things. First thing, W&J is starting to get a little complacent when they're up by a lot of scores. And 2, Waynesburg is making a lot of adjustments of things that they were weak on in the first half, and then they're turning it into something that they can really gain from.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
All right, let's take a look at other games that are happening around the pack. There are 11 teams, so not everyone is in action today. Allegheny is off this weekend. Geneva at Westminster, that is a rivalry game. Big matchup there. St. Vincent and Bethany. Grove City at Teal, and maybe the other game to be watching right now and keeping an ear on, Case Western Reserve and Carnegie.
So they actually call Case Western versus Carnegie Mellon the academic bowl. So 2 very top schools as far as academics go, and then they face each other in football. So a little bit of a fun fact there for you on the Saturday afternoon.
8:17 to go in the fourth quarter. 8:17 to go in the entire season for both of these teams. Maybe a bowl game for W&J. Hugh back to pass, looking to his left. Finds a man. Paduzzi gets it around the 23-yard line. It was a 3rd and long and was able to make that catch and get first down yardage for W&J.
Pugh had 5 men spread out that could all catch this pass, but he's going to the person he has the most chemistry with, and that's John Peduzzi. Knowing he's been running that curl route to perfection all day, they haven't been able to stop it yet, and it comes up clutch for them.
Pugh's overlooking the defense. Play clocks are back to operating again. About 5 seconds. And the snap takes it, hands it off over that left side out to about the 30-yard line. Nice run by Owen Patricic. We've been calling his number a lot this afternoon.
Exactly, and coming into last week, he was the team's most gained rusher. He's put up the most rushing yards through the first part of the season and then into the later in the season.
Mm-hmm.
He's been absolutely phenomenal for them. He's been a guy that they weren't really expecting to be the starter or even the backup, but he's really made a name for himself in this W&J offense.
What's impressive about W&J and the running attack is that they're 3rd in the pack total, but they don't have that one feature back to go to. Handoff by Pugh up the middle. First down yardage once again. Looks as though upwards of 19 yards on that run. And he's saying, feed me, feed me.
So you say that W&J doesn't have that feature back, which could be seen as a bad thing. But I see it a lot as a good thing because not only you have 4 players that deserve to get the ball, not that there's one person that needs to have the ball. There's 4 guys that deserve to have the ball because of the way they run, the yards they put up, the different styles that they use. And that's more for Coach Sirianni and having more personnel to work with.
It's almost like too much talent. That's a problem that coaches would love to be able to have, right?
Exactly. And W&J runs in the running back room for sure.
Right, 4 running backs, only 1 football. You got to spread the thing around, keep everybody happy, I guess, right?
That's for sure.
2nd and 3. Now, you've been in the locker room. You played here at W&J. How much is it about trying to keep everybody happy, everybody at least mentally engaged in the game? They throw the ball around to a number of different receivers, 3 receivers in the top 10 in the pack. They have 4 running backs that could be starters on many other teams. Is there an issue in keeping everybody happy on the offensive side of the ball?
The hardest part is getting everyone on your team to buy in to a goal, to a team goal. And then after that team goal is achieved, then all the individual goals come along with it.
Fumble. The quarterback exchange with DeRosa. The ball hit the ground and then was fallen on by DeRosa. And W&J is able to maintain possession.
So Kobe DeRosa, another problem with the exchange we've seen a lot today. The strength of this W&J team is the RPOs, the run-pass options that they have, and the options that they can go to. But if you can't handle the exchange, there's no chemistry between the running back and the quarterback, which is another fault of having 4 different running backs coming through. It's that communication. You can't consistently get that chemistry with one back if you're having 4 cycling through.
Handoff to DeRosa, left side, looking for some running room, close to midfield, around the 49-yard line. Nice run. Pickup of 7 yards on the play. Maybe the most important part about that is that the clock continues to run. We're now at 4:20 on a running clock.
So that's the 5th minute of this W&J offensive drive so far. And even though, they're stuck on the 4th down here, able to bleed off over 5 minutes in a game where Waynesburg is already fighting the clock to begin with. Coach Sirianni being as aggressive as always, knowing that if he gets his first down, he can put this game out of reach.
4th and 3. Play clock down to 4 seconds. You got to believe they're going to call timeout here in a moment, and they do.
First charge, timeout of the half.
Sirianni takes a timeout. 3:48 to go in this game. The Presidents up over the Yellow Jackets, 33-21. The conclusion next on KDKA+.
It's time to rediscover the original Voodoo Brewing Company pub in beautiful downtown Meadville. Enjoy world-renowned craft beer, delicious and unique cocktails, and one-of-a-kind food items. Celebrate an Allegheny win with the newest fall cocktail, Gator Juice. And if you're looking to take your celebration to the next level or host a private event, look no further than the Voodoo Production Facility and Event Space for your next event. For more information, visit VoodooBrewery.com.
This awesome gift is from my grandma. I use free pay policy from GBA Life.
What does it do?
It accumulates cash value, helps protect my future insurability, and it may even earn dividends.
What's so great about that?
My policy will grow with me. Plus, I get access to the GBA Life Youth Leaders Program, scholarships, and more.
Oh.
You might be interested in a GBA Life annuity. You're probably thinking about retiring soon, right, Mrs. Jones?
For us, this is not just a job. This is our mission. Providing great patient care. Delivering babies. Healing hearts. Detecting cancer early. Stitching wounds. And holding your hand through it all. Proudly serving our community for over 125 years. Washington Health System.
Ricky Hunter is back to punt. Last time he tried to punt, he was in his own end zone and wasn't able to handle the snap, and it was blocked, and Waynesburg got it inside the 5-yard line. And now a little bit of pointing back and forth, and the snap. Hangs up there a bit. Fair catch is called at the 23-yard line. So now Waynesburg has it. 3:41 to go in the game, and they have to score twice. We want to thank all of the sponsors here for D3 College Football on KDKA Plus, Washington Health System, Voodoo Brewing Company, 2 Men in the Truck, GBU Life, and Leeway Enterprises. Thank you so much for what you've done all season long to make these broadcasts possible. Just couldn't have done it without you. This is really a remarkable game. Coming down to the last couple of minutes, Waynesburg making a great run. A pass out of the backfield once again, and a nice run by Cowley. The man does it all. You want him to run the ball, he'll run it for you. You want catching out of the backfield, he can take care of that for you too.
With the time constraints, you can't really line up and do a lot of inside runs, so find another way to get on the ball, and that's in the passing game.
Barber back, passes it to Cowley one more time, looking for some place to go, gets it out over the 40-yard line, first down play. Zane Cowley, too, he's a sophomore. And it looks as though between Cowley and Barber at quarterback, Waynesburg really has something to work forward to in 2024. Barber looking, trying to find somewhere to go. Dumps it off to a receiver on a crossing route, gets it up over midfield, another 10-yard pickup.
And this is exactly what the defense is giving you. They're giving you the over-the-middle drag routes, the running back coming out of the backfield. So keep taking what they give you.
Xavier Nelson on that reception. Barber looking, has a receiver all by himself over in the left flat. Dakota Romantino able to bring that in, move the sticks. How much of this being able to move the ball at this point is because W&J is playing softer in coverage?
It has everything to do with it. It's just, can you find what they're giving you? And they're giving you the middle of the field. They're giving you the running back out of the backfield. But then you need to eventually take that shot downfield. You need to give the corners a little test on the outside just to see what they're doing.
3, offense.
That doesn't help, though.
False start by the offense, backing them up 5 yards, setting up a 1st and 15. 2:41 to go in this game. Waynesburg happily taking what W&J will give them and hoping they can move the ball fast enough and potentially score before time runs out. And Barber hit as he was releasing that and not able to make contact with, make a connection with his receiver on that play. Dakota Romantino just beyond him and out of bounds.
So that's that deep shot that you need to look for, that you need to try and connect with. But the time, you have 2.5 minutes. You have, if you're Waynesburg, you have 2 timeouts left. You just need to score. Give yourself a little bit of time, a little over a minute left, so that you can make another defensive stop, an onside kick, whatever it is. Just give yourself the opportunity to win.
Barber overlooks everything. 4 wide receivers. Blitzes on, dumps it out to Cali, trying to make one man miss, gets out to the sideline over the 30-yard line, and a nice pickup down around the 27.
Cauley apologizing. Just not able to stop his momentum going forward. He's a special talent coming out of the backfield. And the way he's able to run, Brandon Brown shoves him out of bounds. Fortunately, Cauley shoves someone else as he's running.
Pass out to Cali once again, looking for that sideline. Gets it, so it turns a 3rd and a couple into a 1st and 10 on that play. Most importantly, along with that first down yardage pickup, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. The clock is now stopped as a result of that. Because of the first down, it's now started up once again. Near 2 minutes to go in this game. Looking left, looking for somewhere to go, isn't able to find it. Tanner Volpatti and other linemen for Washington and Jefferson able to get that big sack.
I think the Yellow Jackets just got saved here. Barber just cannot take a sack. That's one of the worst opportunities you can have. Just try and find a way to throw it out of bounds. You just can't take a sack, especially you need to save those timeouts if you need to get a defensive stop.
There is a flag on the play down around the 10-yard line, and the officials are talking about whether or not there is a penalty.
There's no foul on the play.
And they have decided to go ahead and pick up the flag.
Well, I take that back. They did not get saved because now the clock's running. Long second down. Now you have to go deep.
He's back to pass. Sacked again. Washington and Jefferson defense. Big stop by W&J on that play. One of the tackles coming up right up the middle and able to break that up. Setting up a 3rd, and what must seem like forever now. Waynesburg taking a timeout, minute 33 to go. The defensive line, along with the linebackers on the blitzes, have really paid off. They've come up big here in these last couple of plays.
Tyler Primrose just shooting straight through the gap on a little stunt. Able to get free and just go straight beeline to the quarterback, straight to Barber, not letting him escape, not letting him throw it out of bounds. And now they're forced to use that timeout. So for Waynesburg, the only opportunity you have if you score to win this game is the onside kick recovery. So you kind of, not only do you limit them to a 3rd and long if you're the W&J defense, but now you're forcing them to go to onside kick, and they have no choice but to do that if they can get a score here.
Is it fair to say that Waynesburg doesn't have to feel as though they have to get all the yardage in one play?
They need to get the first down yardage. They do not have to go to the end zone. However, if you're going to go for this first down at this point, you might as well go for the touchdown.
Okay. 3rd and long. Barber rolls to his right, passes it out to the flat. Receiver makes a man miss, trying to strip the football. Xavier Nelson making the catch. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage, but the clock is continuing to run. We're down to a minute 15 to play in the game. 4 wide receivers, 2 and 2. Barber back to pass, looking to his right, route into the end zone. Touchdown, Waynesburg. My goodness, Dakota Romantino.
We've been asking all day, where is he? And then he comes in with the most clutch play of the game. Little fade ball, one-on-one on the outside. A beautiful throw by Barber, giving him enough room to really extend, and Romantino just adjusts perfectly to the ball, making his presence known. We've been waiting for it, and now we see it. And now this is a 1-score game for the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets.
33-27, awaiting the point after. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 33-28. Who would have predicted this would be the score at the beginning of this game, even at halftime?
The only people that would have predicted the score is if they never watched Waynesburg or WJ or looked at any stats in their entire life from this matchup, because every single stat, every single play you've seen prior to the first half has told you that WJ is going to absolutely run away with this game. Cernuto had a pair of touchdowns today, one on the ground, one in the passing game.
But that was a fumble going into the end zone. This is all second half highlights here. Big run by Crowley to be able to get that touchdown. It's so important to note that, and then now the run all by himself, Barber able to see the Red Sea split in front of him. This interception by W&J. And talk about this pass play that just got completed.
So clock's running down, 4th down and long. You have to throw up a prayer. And then sometimes you just got to give the ball to your best player and see what he can do. And then you throw your best player in the passing game, which is Dakota Romantino, and you're going to take your chances with him. And he comes up big for your team. But everything rides on this onside kick. So there's a science to this onside kick, because you can't just kick it like you normally do with a normal kickoff.
Charge time out of the half.
As a kicker, you have to hit down on the ball on the top of it, so you basically have to hit it straight into the ground. And then you need it to pop up, and then you basically bank on one of the returners fumbling it or not being able to get to it. So what you do is they kind of eliminated, over the last few years, lining up everybody on one side and just running straight at people to eliminate the risk of injury, which is a good thing. But the science behind the onside kick has really changed, and it's more in the kicker's hands than it is for the kickoff team's hands.
How much do you practice this?
So actually every week, you have a walkthrough on Friday before the game on Saturday. So during the walkthrough, you line up on your onside kick team, and you have your kicker, and you have them hit 4 or 5 onside kicks in a row. So you do this every week because you never know when you're going to get thrown in the situation in this big of a game.
Across the front, Troy Valpatti, Cernuto. A lot of... What are you seeing, Alex? What are
we
you
also
seeing?
see Jake Pugh in the front lines.
And it was caught by Volpatti and down at the 47-yard line of Waynesburg. Waynesburg only has 1 timeout left. The whole decision would have changed, wouldn't it, if they had a full bank of timeouts?
If they had a full bank of timeouts, you could still go the onside kick, but then you had the opportunity to still win because you can get a defensive stop here. But now forcing yourself to use those timeouts on the drive previous, and now W&J goes in their victory formation and seal this game. That's really turned on its head from the first half.
Remarkable. To think that W&J could be shut out by, of all teams, Waynesburg.
Third and final charge timeout, Waynesburg. 30-second timeout.
They came here with a chip on their shoulder. I think that being embarrassed 3 years in a row, to give up 177 and to not score anything, they came here with this idea of, okay, we're going to continue to grind this thing out, and we're going to make a game of this. And who could have asked for more than to be late into the fourth quarter and be in a position to maybe win a game?
And they were one play away from winning this game. If they get that onside kick, they can drive down the field and get another score. But, just the second half adjustments at halftime, I give props to the coaching staff at Waynesburg. Just did a great job of not giving up, not letting their players give up, especially, and just making a game out of this by limiting their mistakes, limiting their penalty yardage, letting W&J make the mistakes, and then creating turnovers. That's all it was.
Sirianni's walking the sideline, and I can see him where he's kind of like shaking his head back and forth and dropping a hand wave, like it's almost difficult for him to believe what he's witnessed in this second half.
Coach Sirianni has a high expectation for himself and for the team. So coming out with a victory here is obviously important. But just the way his team played in the second half is just nothing you can really emphasize and nothing you can really look to kind of boost your momentum, maybe in a potential bowl game next week. But like I said, we're still looking for that perfect game from W&J. Even 350 yards in the first half wasn't enough to get a great victory.
Wow. What a game. 33-28 W&J holding on. Literally. Not a point in the second half. Beating Waynesburg 33-28. Waynesburg putting up 21 second half points and all but a recovered onside kick from really having a great opportunity to win this game. Once again, final 33-28, the Presidents over the Yellow Jackets. For all of us here at KDKA Plus, Alex with me here in the booth. I'm Robert Mangino, Austin Bechtel covering play-by-play all season long, and everybody else a part of the staff, the crew behind the scenes as well. Thank you so much for being a part of this and following us, and looking forward to being a part of it again next season right here on KDKA Plus.